So St Mary's have got a bit of a battle ahead of them. They've got a couple out too. I see that in for St Mary's Matty Green and Zach Robinson, which is very handy. But they've got a couple out as compared to Waratah. Will, I reckon it's their best side of the year.
Yeah, it's a pretty handy side. Obviously, Will Collis has made the trip up. I think the Collises have played a fair bit of footy for Sydney's NEAFL team and VFL team. Dill's been the vice-captain and played, I think, every game this year, but Will's coming back up. They've also got Turnbull, who hasn't been as much of a mainstay this year. Abe Ankers has made the trip up from Central Australia, and Nick Gooch and Dan O'Dwyer have played, I think, since Christmas, but are really establishing themselves again in that back line.
Got a really informed ruckman in Arnold Kirby too. He'll be up against Brandon Grenfell from St Mary's. That'll be a good contest.
Yeah.
Who gets the ball out of the middle, I think, is going to be very important.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Kirby's probably, he played in that rep game, as we know. He's not I wouldn't say he's necessarily the best ruckman in the competition, but I think over the course of the season, he's been the most consistent, and consistency, you can see that flourish in his game as well, because he has sort of upped his game, and I think just having a bit more time in there and a bit more regularity has worked for him and for his midfielders.
Yeah, he's what they call a workhorse, Arnold. He plays 4 quarters of football. He makes his opponent earn every kick, mark and handball and whatever else. The other thing about Waratah, they've got a very good forward line. Jaden Magro leading the league goal kicking. From his opposite number, Jackson Calder. I see they're 1 and 2 on the goal kicking ladder. Big Darcy Hope is another goal kicker, and Tom Bernulis, I think that's how you pronounce him. He kicked 4 or 5 goals against them in that big win in round 1.
Yeah, Bernulis and Magro also kicked a number of goals last week in the Foundation Cup game out at wasn't last week, sorry, the weekend before at Tracy Village. So a lot of firepower here at both ends. So hopefully we see a bit of a shootout. Do you think this could be a bit of a finals preview, whether it's a semi-final or even a grand final?
Well, you're right. It's a rematch of the rematch, really. Rematch of round 1, and we're about to go, Will, so here we go.
So it'll be Grenfell on Kirby in the middle. Lant is also there. So too Morris, Carroll, Paredes, Hunt, and Grenfell gets it out, just kicks it forward straight away. Was picked up, though, there by O'Sullivan for Waratah, working it back. He couldn't get it too far. Finds himself in the bottom of the pack with the ball there too. Ball up just forward for St Mary's. As you can see there, we mentioned Paredes and the umpire wearing number 0 on their back for road safety round. Carroll, he picks it up out, gets it out to Morris. He'll go a bit further again, now finds Marcus Waddy, goes down the line to Hope on a big lead and takes a good mark. He plays on instantly to Morris. Morris inside the centre square, goes to full forward, but Oborn, he's got his hands in the way there. Intercepted, now comes out through Parnell. Parnell goes out to Long. Long almost had to get his way through the boundary. Umpire was hit after he disposed of it, so there'll be a free kick to Hunt, but Hunt marked it easy enough. He now goes to Dylan Lant. Potentially in Nichols medal conversations, Gray. He's probably my pick at the moment.
Yes, he's up there again. Of course, he won the NT News Player of the Year a couple of years ago. He's been a very consistent player and a very dynamic player too.
That kick from Grenfell down the line to Yaron. Yaron just got a handball forward as he was tackled, but it goes over the boundary line. And Yaron thought he was possibly facing a few weeks on the sideline with the report last week, but looks like he's gotten off. He's obviously playing out there today.
Yes, he's a very handy player too, Nick. He loves the football, so we'll see how he goes today against a very tight, very hard-working Waratah defence.
And I think he also is a former NT News Player of the Year recipient. Yep. Waratah now just edging it forward. Ball comes back, intercepted there by Magro. Now goes out wide and kicked long inside 50 at the back. Bernulis is there. Soto Magro, he's looking to crumb it. He's got 2 to beat. Just push to ground. Ball spills out, rolls over the boundary line.
So, yeah, we're going 2 minutes and no score. It's obviously going to be a very physical game. There's going to be no big pardons. These two sides aren't particularly enamoured with each other, Will.
No, a bit of a history. Obviously played in last year's grand final, which St Mary's dominated. And Waratah made an absolute meal of them in the rematch in round 1, as mentioned. So this should be an absolute cracker of a game. Now comes forward. Morris picks it up. Former Mitch Lee medalist from last year. He kicks on goal. Has that gone through for the first? What a start for Waratah, and what a goal to Eddie Morris. Tars on the board in the replay of the replay.
Yeah, the rematch of the rematch. Yeah, he was given far too much room then. He even had time to have a look at the goals before he kicked it. So be pretty pleased with that. Well, Edward, they call him Ted Morris, and first goal on the board to the Red and Whites.
Fantastic start. And that's one of the, I'd say one of the biggest strengths of Waratah is they've got players like Morris, like Turnbull, like Carroll, probably more so like Will Collis, but also like Dill Collis and even Jaden Magro, who can play in the middle and then you can throw them forward as well, and they know exactly where the goals are and how to find them too. If you can add an extra, 3, 4, 5 goals each game from your midfield crew, it's going to help you get that 4 points a lot more so than if not. Running through there, I think that was it Waddy again, now comes outside and anchors. He kicks it forward. Turnbull, just mentioned him, almost took a one-handed mark, but it'll come out to Long. Long will go out to Oborn. Oborn just did what he could to get it away. Only gets it as far as Collis. Collis now goes inside 50. Hope on the lead. Picks it up on the half volley. Handballs it back to Carroll. Carroll caught on his wrong side. Gets around one. Spins him. Gets rid of him. Still on his non-preferred right. But that's a pretty good kick in board. Parnell, though, strong core, takes the mark. Good
early signs for Waratah, Will. They've had the ball in their forward line probably 80% of this first 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, possession's probably been about 50-50, but Waratah just seems to be moving a bit smoother and with a bit more purpose. St Mary's, when they've had it, have sort of been, as they are now, a bit sort of stuck and unsure where to go next. That kick finds Hunt on the half-back flank, very tight on the boundary line. Turnbull giving him plenty of space. Hunt looking to go inboard. Carlin intercepted, and now he'll take it, gets a handball back to Carroll. Carroll just slick into the forward pocket to Hope. What a beautiful kick that was from the captain.
Yes, everything done right then, and now it's up to Hope to convert. He led well, and beautiful pass, as you said, put it out in front of him. All he had to do was clap his hands, really, and the ball fell into them.
Brodie Carroll probably hasn't had as good a year this year as last year, but on his day, one of the best midfielders in the competition, and that's exactly why. Kicks like that, just knows how to pinpoint, pass and find his teammates. Here comes their spearhead, Darcy Hope, from the pocket, very tight, trying to will it back. Has that gone through? It has, and Tars, 2 goals to start this one. They're on the board and looking very good.
Nice goal from an angle, that. He allowed for what small breeze there is, and it just drifted through nicely. And he dyed his hair too, Darcy, to make sure that the cameras will be on him for the entire game, but it's certainly a good start for him and Waratahs. 2 goals, 12 points, and St Mary's are nothing.
And good work from Scott Carlin, it was the midfielder, just to get involved, get a bit of an intercept possession. That's really set that goal up, and obviously gotten the ball out to his captain, Carroll.
Yes, a very good start, and as I've said, they've spent much of their time in their forward line, and probably a slight worry at this stage for the St Mary's coaching staff. They just can't get the ball out of the middle.
Grenfell probably getting in top in the ruck, but here again, come Waratah, just streaming through. Collis with a good kick forward. Magro's bounced off his chest. Coming outside, Hunt gets a handball out the back to, I think that's to Matty Green, one of the better defenders this year. And Oborn's just shot it long and high without purpose, really. Kirby gets it over the top to Collis. Now coming out to this near side wing, he picks it up, just gets boot to ball, and beautifully finds Carroll. Just knows where to be, Carroll. Goes a short, sharp one forward again now with Cree. Cree, he's got a target in the centre corridor. It's the big white Hope. Can't take the mark now. A good smother there, though. I think that was from Waddy. Tars still on. Cree kicks inside 50, very wide. Has that bounced on the line? No, umpire calls out of bounds on the full.
Out on the full, yes, and it'll be a St Mary's kick, and that'll be Jake Long right in the deep back pocket. So they're doing a lot of defending, St Mary's. They'll be keen to get the ball at least across the middle and into their forward half, because Waratah players are everywhere.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like a red and white sort of day to start off. St Mary's almost seem a little bit slow and asleep here. Here comes Long. So Long
almost got himself into trouble then. He almost kicked him on the mark.
Big fly from Oborn, very unrealistic attempt, and a free kick, and he's given away a 50-metre penalty there. just jumped sort of well offline from that one. And probably been a bit too quick to react as well. So the big fella Kirby will be brought not quite into the goal square, but just outside, and very quickly it could be almost a 3-goal lead if you can convert it.
As I say, I'll give him the commentator's curse, but he cannot miss from there.
He might owe him a beer if he misses this one, Gray. Kirby, the big ruckman, Mr. Consistent in the ruck in the NTFL comp.
Yeah.
Owed 1 beer from Gray Morris after that.
Yeah. The commentator's curse has struck again. They dropped it very awkwardly, though, and kicked it off the outside of his boot. So he'll be disappointed, Big Kirby, on that too, because as you said, if they'd kicked the first 3, it'll look very good on the scoreboard.
Green gets it into Long. Long goes short and sharp, and he finds Kreuzberger. Haven't seen a lot of Kreuzberger this year personally, but I've heard good things. That kick, though, wasn't great. However, they've still got a free kick. It'll now be with Robinson back to Kreuzberger. How's this kick? A bit better. Musgrove couldn't take the mark, but again, just a bit strong on the contest was Dill Collis. So they go down the line. Musgrove,
numbers.
Good work there. Try to find Jack Lant. Now just works forward. Dylan Lant just screaming across. Wrapped up in the tackle there was Sam Fowler. An umpire, I think he'll call for a ball up.
Waratahs are ferocious. They're coming off a bye too, remember, so they'll be nice and fresh. And they're certainly hard at the ball right now, and they seem to have players everywhere, as I said earlier.
Turnbull, he got a clearance out now. Anchors streams through, takes one bounce. He's got plenty of space and support on that side. He'll get it out to the support there in Waddy. Waddy now goes inside 50 to the long lead of Hope. Couldn't take the mark. Still alive? No, taken over the back line by Matty Green, and that'd be a really interesting matchup today. Matt Green on Darcy Hope, Gray.
Yes, he's first going back for a while, Matty, too, so he's one of the league's best defenders. But this guy, Hope, is a very important player for Waratahs too, so you're right, it'll be a very good contest.
And down the other end, Dan O'Dwyer on Jackson Calder. That'll be another mouth-watering contest, and I reckon you'd probably have Kieran Parnell and Jaden Magro. They're lining up down the Waratah forward line as well, so some great forward and defender matchups today.
There's another quick kick out of defence by St Mary's. There's been a few of those and hasn't really helped them at all.
Working down the line, and Lant, he was nearly ready to go away, but just given away a free kick on the way. It'll be Nick Gooch. Gooch goes short, sharp, finds Cree. He has a runner if he wants him there in Collis, but he doesn't go there. Collis not as peroxide as he was last season when he and Dill first stepped up on the NTFL scene. Now rolling around and kicking long. Gee, that's a good kick, and it's Joel Crocker inside 50, usually playing off half back. A rare foray forward for him.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with this guy all season, Will, and as you said, he just drifted forward and no one picked him up, and now he's having a shot from about 45 metres out. So, yeah, Tars certainly the form side so far. Son, of course, of the North Melbourne player, Darren Crocker.
So just from inside the paint, umpires called him play on. Has hooked that one. Vallejo very quick off the mark there to put some pressure on. But there's a mark in the forward line to big Tommy Benulis.
How many times do you see that from a miss kick? The backs just, they get caught ball watching. That's what happened on that occasion. Benulis just strolled in and took a very comfortable chest mark, and he's, how far out is he? Well, about 10 metres on an angle.
Oh, he's probably about 15. It's not the easiest kick going round, but you'd like to think your big forwards from there
can convert, and he has.
He has. So they still get the first 3 of this one. 3 goals, 1 they move to. 19-point lead. St Mary's yet to score, and I think they've only had it inside 50 once or twice. And as we said, a bit slow to start this one.
Well, that's the worry, I'd say, for the St Mary's coaching staff. They just haven't looked lively. They can't get the ball moving. And, of course, they've been on the defensive for how long have been going? 12 minutes for almost the entire game. So a very good start for Tars. I'm sure Ryan Ayres and his coaching staff will have a bit of a smile on their face. But there's a long way to go, of course.
You can see Dill Lant, the second closest forward to home, and Jack in full forward. I'd move Dylan into the engine room at the moment. Liam Hunt's there as well. So too Cruiserberger, and it's just not really working at the moment. Another clearance forward for Waratah, and Magro juggles the mark. He's been a superstar for the last 2 years. From I think he's from
East Perth and the Waffle.
East Perth and the Waffle, that's it. I knew it was East, I couldn't remember if it was Perth or Fremantle, but East Perth.
The Royals, they call them down there, the Black and Blues.
And he's been very good. Debuted up here last year 2 years ago against Palmerston with 5 goals at Gardens. Hasn't stopped kicking goals since, and
that one's not going to be a goal, Will.
It's just sprayed to the left-hand side. 20-point lead.
Just looking at some of the matchups, as you said, Lance is he's only had 1 touch so far, so he's a very important player. And Paredes, I don't think he's had a touch.
Paredes, I think he might even be on the bench for a spell now, or has he moved back on? He's just moved back onto the field, matching up on his opposition captain. Umpires have called a 50-metre penalty. Not sure exactly what that one was for. Yeah. In fact, it's off the ball.
Yeah, one of the players off the ball came within the 5-metre radius. So here they go forward for a very rare trip down to the forward line, Will.
Dill Lant, he's got a runner down this near side wing. He won't go to him. Instead, he'll just play on and bomb it long to brother Jack. And Dylan Lant's been hit off play again by Robbie Turnbull, and they're going to Turnbull. Turnbull's got about 6 or 7 players in green and gold around him, and this one's getting fiery early. The Tars come in now as well. Big Darcy Hope on Brandon Grenfell's an interesting and intriguing matchup. So too there, Parnell on Collis. Just bubbling over a bit. Players now dispersing into their positions, and Mitchy Musgrove inside 50 back to play. Will have a shot on goal. That one will go through, and Saints have their first on the board courtesy of a few off-field hits on Dylan Lant. Not sure if that was the best tactic. Collis and Grenfell still going for it inside the centre square. Breaking up now. Long and Collis, and Collis is pretty keen to get involved in this one, you'd say.
Yes, there weren't many smiles during that what you could almost call it a melee. So it just goes to show the relationship between these clubs is probably a little warm, but a nice goal there to Musgrove, much to Waratah's disgust, because it was a free kick from a hit, and they're on the board, which is good news for St Mary's, because we're starting to struggle a bit. Yeah,
not sure about those tactics from the Tars boys there to go after Land as they did then. Obviously he's had a pretty quiet start, but they've been pretty good and don't need to worry about the opposition. Here now is Goulden out of the middle, and
that's a nice
Big
mark.
Darcy Hope full forward. Good lead, good mark.
Marked it right out in front of his face.
And a 50 as well.
What forwards are supposed to do, and a 50-metre penalty, as you said.
They're just giving it to Robbie Turnbull. He needs to be careful not to reverse at Turnbull, and he'll come to the bench now, just perhaps to cool off.
Yeah, so the rematch of last year's grand final, the rematch of round 1.
Big.
And so far it's been Waratahs.
He kicks another one. So Hope he's got 2 on the board in this first quarter. And the Tars skip out again to a 19-point lead, 4-1-25. St Mary's just the 1 goal. Take a look at this here on the replay. Just gets it straight down, and Hope a great lead, great mark. Let's just try and have a look at this here. So I think it was Jake Bowd who just got into the face of his opponent, just baited him a bit, and was enough to earn them a 50-metre penalty. They bit back, didn't they, the Saints?
Yes, an instant reply to Musgrove's goal. So once again, the margin back to 20 points. We're almost just over midway through the first quarter.
Kirby on Grenfell. Gets it down Paredes. He tried to get clearance there, but the Tars just got in the way, and so it's Morris. Ball comes off his boot. Coming off half back there was very quick from Zach Robinson. But again, the Tars just managed to work it through better. That snap into the forward line. Is that a mark? Oh, beautifully taken by Abe Ankers. 2 bites of the cherry. He's plucked it, and he'll have a shot on goal.
Yes, Abe Ankers looks like he's heading back to Wangaratta for another season down south. Be using this as a warm-up. Hopefully he'll be available at finals time, because a very important player is Abe Ankers for Waratahs.
Comes in and kicks. Made the umpire work just offline. 4-2 they move to.
Yes, they've missed a couple of opportunities to be further in front, actually. Every time I say how good they are in front of goal, I put the curse on them.
So Green doing the kick-out duties. He's been a bit stuck in this position today. That's no exception. Really made Lant work for it. That's Brock Lant. He's wrapped up by Morris. What does umpire call? My ball.
Yes, well, that's a rare mistake by Matt Green. He was going to go long out here to the members' wing, but changed his mind, and now they're going to have to defend.
Kirby got the hit out there. It's worked forward. Hope gets a handball out. Big Nick Yarran with a strong tackle and assault on the ball there. Bounces back down to the Tars. No, it doesn't. The Saints stream out of defence here through Long. He's taken a second bounce and he goes to Oborn. Oborn just sort of turned at the wrong time, and so Tars, their turn to rebound through Collis. He goes inboard, and it's all red and white, but Dylan Lant just hunted the ball a bit better. He's taken a mark. And again, he's hit late.
I was going to say, they've got him again.
And Kirby and Yarran getting involved again. Yarran needs to be careful. He's probably on thin ice after being reported last week. Paredes getting involved as well. So there'll be a free kick.
The ball looks like it's coming out, and Nick's been reported.
In fact, I think they might have reversed it. So Nick has reversed the free kick there, and it'll go the way of Will Collis. They're definitely targeting Dylan Lant, aren't they?
Yes, as I said when the game started, they're aware of his importance, but I'm not quite sure why they're going in so intently, because they are on top in the game, and it seems that every time that number 9 from St Mary's gets it, they go for him.
And perhaps the best thing that could come out of this for Tars is that it's making players like Yarran retaliate, who equally the Saints can't really afford to do without. I was going to say in September, Gray, but in March.
In March, and he's already in the book, though. He'll be visiting the tribunal again, I would say.
So Kirby goes down the line. He finds Panoulis, who can turn and go. He does. Short, sharp one inside 50. He's found Will Collis. He'll turn and go as well. Full forward, Hope is lurking in the pocket. Takes a beautiful mark. Green, I think he's pleading for the boundary line. Umpires are saying he's caught it in the paint.
Yep, right on the white line. He'll have to do a banana from here or run around corners and kick it from his wrong foot.
From your expertise, Gray, would you go for a banana here or a check side or a drop punt?
Looks like he's gone the banana. I would have gone the banana in my day.
And he's gotten it through, so Darcy Hope 3 for the quarter.
Yeah, good start for Darcy. And you're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL season from TIO Stadium in Darwin, where we're watching last year's grand finalists, St Mary's and Waratah.
So they move to 5-3-33, leading by 27 points.
Yes, and Hope has certainly made an impression. He's kicked 3 already. Beautiful banana goal. Reminded me of my heyday that time, Will. So
way back when.
They're certainly on top, Waratah. They're finding space, and when St Mary's get the ball, they really have to earn it. As Nate Paredes is having a quiet word with the umpire. I wonder what that's about. So possibly the report of Nick Yarran.
Kirby jumped real early then, has just come down, used his weight. Didn't really win the hit out. Kind of was a dead heat, that one, and ball finds itself bottom of the pack, so we'll have another ball up. Umpire Noonan throws it up. Ball comes down. I think we're just starting to get a little bit of rainfall here. We'll add another layer to this game. Good work to get it forward there. Was Fowler. He just centres it now. That might work for them. Calder off the ground through the big sticks. He's happy with it. He likes it. What do the umpires say? Straight through for 6 points. Saints get another one. Their second goal of the game and reduce the margin again to 21.
Yes, a genuine opportunist goal there by Big Jackson Golder. Rather than pick the ball up, he said, I'll just put my boot on that. I'm close enough, and certainly he was good enough. So there are 2 goals, but there's still 3 goals behind Waratah, Will.
Just beat the fingertips of his opponents there. I think it was Crocker and O'Dwyer. And we were saying that Calder doesn't mind playing against Waratah, so he's probably a key for them today as much as players like Lant and Nick Yarran and Paredes to St Mary's walking away with the 4 points.
Yes, they'll have to get the ball in quickly to him. They were one-on-one, so I'm just looking at his opponent now. Is that Crocker?
Hustle and bustle in the middle. He's playing on looks like he's playing on Kieran Andrew at the moment, or O'Dwyer, sorry.
O'Dwyer, number 8 here, and there's a free kick to St Mary's.
Another free kick going the way of, it'll be a 50-metre, and Paredes will take it right into the forward line. It'll be about 25 metres out. Don't know if that was the right call from Paredes.
No, he was just...
Or just passing it off, yeah.
Just practising, I think. Well, it can often be anticipated as a kick, so he's playing with fire a bit there, Nate, but he should kick this.
So it looks like there was just bit of...
Jack Lant.
Yeah, I think Jack Lant and Kieran Andrew, or Jack Lant has been earned a free kick just for being sort of held and pushed off the ball. Here comes Jack Lant, big high kick, and it's gone through. And he's almost been floored again by Kieran Andrew. There's definitely a bit of fire in the belly here.
Yes, it's a traditional Waratah St Mary's game, this. Heaps at stake too. I think if St Mary's win, they'll still stay third, won't they, on the ladder?
I think they will. I'll just try and get up the ladder for you, Gray. But I think it's not so much a...
second or third.
Yeah, second and third. I think both these sides are pretty comfortable where they are. Southern Districts obviously have the bye next week and play Bus next week, so you'd expect them to, to hold on to first spot and a pretty healthy percentage. St Mary's can't jump Waratah at this stage, I don't think. That's barring Waratah losing to Palmerston next week as well, which you don't really see happening.
No, Palmerston dropped away, unfortunately, for the rest of the year. Although good news for the Magpies, for reappointing their coach, Josh Heath, for another 2 seasons early in the week.
They won earlier today as well by 44 points against Tiwi out at Kazali's in Palmerston. Back to the play at hand, and Lant running through. So too there. I think that might have been Hillier going very hard on it, but it comes out now to Waddy off half back, and they've got G. Morris running hard through the middle. Instead, they'll stick out wide. Long, he's gotten involved, touches the ball over the boundary line. Tars wanted to keep going, but a free kick will go the way of St Mary's.
Yes, Anchor screaming for the advantage there, but the free kick was against him, so it was pretty hard to play an advantage when the free kick's against you.
So Long sells a bit of candy, but Abe Anchors didn't take it, wraps him up in a tackle, and that is great reading of the play there by Anchors. Turns it around instantly. He goes laterally now to Carlin. Carlin goes to Collis. Collis's kick, rarely, not a good one, but Magro will pick it up and make the most of it. Rolls onto his left, kicks it high. Hope will be at the fall of it. Hope can't take it. Green did very well there to get involved. Now coming through, I think that's Collis again. It is. He's tackled and wrapped up. Whistle's blown. Umpire will call. And again, still just getting involved there, aren't they? There's a lot of argy-bargy, a lot of feeling about this one.
Yeah, but you're right, it's probably a pre-finals game, this really.
Grenfell takes it out, kicks it long, couldn't be marked by Lant. He does the ground level work though. Floored by Crocker, free kick going Lant's way. Just pushed in his back.
Look, looks like they've thrown Jack Lant on the ball too, just to liven things up a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. He doesn't look super duper athletic, does he, at the moment? But that doesn't mean he's not explosive and talented, and we know he's both of those things. Now here's Stenning. Stenning will go down to Calder, the big fella, a long way from home. Can't take the mark, but running through is Fowler. Fowler tackle, dispossessed of it. Ping for holding the ball. Turnbull now on half back. He's got a short one in Kirby, probably not the right option there. Doesn't have a lot else going though, so he'll go long. Looks like the target there was Carlin, and it'll just roll over the boundary line. On a pretty central position in between the 2 interchange gates. St Mary's make the most of it, make a few changes there. Stenning and Lant, that's Brock Lant back on.
Just working their way back into the game slowly in the shadows of quarter time, Will.
So ball goes over the top, tapped down there by Grenfell. Wrapped up there was Hunt. Hunt's been pretty lively so far today, Gray. That's Liam Hunt for St Mary's.
He has been very good. Very hard at it as well, which is what they need. Like to see Nate Paredes get a little bit more involved.
Ball spills over the back.
As I speak, he's got hold of the cherry, of the lemon, I mean.
And just kicks it forward. mark couldn't be taken by Waratah. Wrapped up. Almost, oh, not a good kick there from Hillier out on the full. Just a bit too opportunistic.
Yeah, just working their way back into the game. St Mary's have calmed down, they've settled.
Red time here. Waratah wouldn't want to give away one. Benulis can't take the mark.
They're going to pay a free kick, are they, for that?
Yeah, just got hit high, and so potentially a splash of blood coming out of his nose. There is.
Yes.
So handball worked forward. Crocker, he now goes long. Wasn't accurate with his kick though. St Mary's running back on the fly. Turnbull picks it up though, off the pack. Gets through now. Kicked forward by Will Collis. It was marked by Hope. He's already got 3 this quarter.
And you know why he marked that, Will? The man in front. He got himself in front. He's got a 50-metre penalty as well. A bit of back chat there by one of the St Mary's players.
In fact, I think it might have been Zach Robinson who's just pushed over young Jake Bowd. So Hope, we don't want to give him the commentator's curse, but we'll be set for 4 majors in the first quarter. Not a bad haul at all. Very
productive quarter for the blonde-haired maestro. Dyed his hair shock white, and he goes bang. So that's 4 for him and 6 for Waratah's, Will.
Yep, and no one on the mark there, so easy as you like. Made the goal umpire work, but he just had to duck. And yeah, Waratah doing very well, 6-3-39. They lead by 21 points. St Mary's 3 goals straight, 18.
And knowing Anthony Vallejo as I do, he'd be disappointed with that 50-metre penalty. I'm just trying to see how it happened. Yeah, coming over the top there, Robinson.
And 2 of those 3 goals that St Mary's have kicked have been from free kicks and 50-metre penalties as well. So right. They're on the board and they're still in the game, but probably not as active and lively as the scoreboard would suggest. So Waratah have been dominating this one.
I think there'll be some stern words by the coach at quarter time. Can't be far away.
Paredes, he gets a clearance. He is coming alive, Gray. You've wheeled him into this one. Lant hit without it, but probably in the vicinity of the ball there. Umpires let it go. Now, Dylan Lant, he gets a handball over the top. Jack Lant try to keep it going. We'll run around. Fowler. A dive worthy of an Oscar. Umpires let it go.
Was just going to say it was a great act there by number 40, but Mark Noonan a bit smarter than that. He's a very experienced umpire.
Kirby gets another hit out. He's doing very well today. Kicked out of there. I think that was by Gooch. Didn't get it long enough though. Grenfell kicks it deep into the pocket. Now with young Vallejo. Gets it back there. I think that's Paredes again, and then just kicked very high by Land. It'll be play on at the fall of this. Still alive, still an opportunity here. Jai Hartung couldn't get rid of it really in the way he wanted to, but Matty Green, he'll take a kick a long way away. We've ticked over to 30.5 minutes here, so siren can't be far. Matty Green, he needs to get rid of it quickly or have a shot. Told to play on, he needs to go here, he's in trouble. Just hands it back, and there's a big long kick high into the 50. Saints need a mark at the 4 of this. They get it through Musgrove. No, they don't. Bounces out of his hands. Carroll gets a handball away. Now kicked out of there. And there's the siren. So St Mary's possibly an opportunity gone wasted there. Late in that one. They trail by 21 points. Goal scorers, Hope, the big fella. He's got 4 in this first quarter. The first goal of the game to Eddie Morris, and Tom Benulis has also got a goal. For St Mary's, Mitch Musgrove, Jackson Calder and Jack Lant are the goal scorers. Gray, who have you seen as best so far?
Oh, I think Big Hope has been the difference. He's been a target and they've certainly found him. Bankett's have got a lot of the ball, and also number 4 there, Dylan Collis. They've certainly had a lot of the ball, and they've kicked 6 goals. And so it's quarter time here at TIO Stadium with Waratah leading by 21 points, and we'll be back at TIO after this short break.
Nightcliff under pressure here. They're coming out through Vile. He's turned the ball over. Picked up by Atkins. Hands off quickly to Stokes. They've got to get tighter on Jared Stokes in that situation. He goes long and Stokes, he's kicked the first goal of the game. The skipper, Jared Stokes, has started well for Buffaloes.
Skilly?
Di Pasquale, he's started the game
well.
Philo, they've got to man him up. He will kick it from 50.
And he loves it.
He loves it. I think he was knocked over after it too. But it doesn't matter. Brody Philo's kicked one for Tigers. Gets the ball over there to the Nightcliff player. He chips it sideways. Picked up there by Butcher. Butcher onto his left foot. Kicks it in deep. And it's a goal. So we're looking around for it. They lost sight of that one, and Butcher's kicked it on his left foot. That's one for the archives.
And welcome back here to TIO Stadium for the blockbuster between Waratahs and St Mary's. It's quarter time and Waratah have jumped. They lead by 21 points, Will, and they're looking very, very good.
Yeah, they are. It's probably could be more than that. St Mary's have got 2 of their 3 goals from, I think, if not free kicks and 50-metre penalties and free kicks. We saw the first one, I think, came through Mitch Musgrove, and Jack Lan also got a free kick and a 50-metre penalty, or a free kick downfield, I should say. But yeah, Waratah on top in this one, absolutely. Darcy Hope with 4 goals and looking very good.
The same thing's happened at the other end, though. Well, Waratahs have benefited from a couple of 50-metre penalties as well. So, and one thing for sure in this game, there's plenty of fire out there. They're, as I said, they're not particularly enamourous of each other, Waratahs and St Mary's. So 3 quarters of football to go, and take your seats, folks, and let's have a look at it. Nick
Aaron already reported, and I imagine he'd be missing a few weeks because he only just got off from what I understand was meant to be a 3-week suspension in the last week. So he doesn't have a good record this year, and unfortunately for Chopper Vallejo, means he might be without one of his I don't know what you'd call him. He's probably not your best player, probably not your your classiest player, but he's got a lot of X factor, and he's a player who digs in deep when the team needs him to.
He can play up forward and across the middle as well. I see him starting on the wing in this particular quarter. So, but they've just got to get the ball out of the middle, and when they do defend too, they've got to show a bit more poise. This is St Mary's side known for its defensive skills over the years, so let's see what they can do this quarter, the second quarter. And round 17, Will, only one more round and we're into the finals.
Absolutely great. It's getting to the exciting time of year. And Kirby, well, he's probably been the dominant ruckman on the ground today. Another hit out there. No one yet to really take advantage until now, and it's Waratah. Kick comes out, I think, from Waddy out to Carroll. Carroll couldn't take the mark. He'll now launch it, and it's just a bit of a floater inside 50. Anchors, he can take the mark. No, he can't. Just fell off his hands. And now young Brock Lant dug into the turf. So they've got sort of a Lant playing on each line. They've got Brock in the back line, Dill in the middle, and Jack playing it full forward. Great.
Yes, it's the Lant show, isn't it, so far? But unfortunately, it hasn't quite worked yet.
No, not quite. Tars are targeting Dylan, and Jack's making his presence felt. Brock doing the hard stuff under the radar. Nick Yaron's just done a bit of an air ball there. He'll come out to Musgrove. They're trying to work it forward. Yaron involved as well too.
Well
now
done.
through Hillier, he kicks it out into space for Calder to run onto, and Lance wrapped up in a tackle as he took it. Interesting battle there, Lant on Kieran Andrew. And there'll be a ball up, in that forward pocket.
Yes, they're getting in each other's road on that occasion, the Jack Lant and Calder, unfortunately, for their forward thrust.
Calder putting his hand up a lot today to get involved in the ruck duties. Now comes out to Waratah, and he'll just get it out of there. He's done very well the last few weeks. That kick not great though, goes to Grenfell. Grenfell a long way from home, but we know that he can absolutely thump it when he needs to.
Yes, he can roost the Sherrin when he wants to.
That is no exception. Looking for the big fella Calder. The spearhead can't take the mark. Now falls to deck. Lant wrapped up from Kieran Andrew. Andrew wearing him like an absolute glove, isn't he? He's trying to shove him off there now. You can see Cree and Paredes, and
someone's been crashed.
Don't want to give away a free kick there.
Umpire trying to calm things down a bit there, Will.
Kirby taps it down. Lant just tries to hook it around, but they had O'Dwyer there at fullback in his post, as he has done so well for a number of years now. He gets it out wide there now. I think that might be young Joel Crocker, is it?
Looks like number 14, yep.
And then he goes further down, but Hunt giving away a free kick for hands in the back, not happy about it. It'll be Morris on half-back. You saw young Jimmy Morris having a little kick around at quarter time there, great, with the other Tars faithful. Good kick from Morris down the line there.
Yeah, so Waratah's, they're on top, but you just get the feeling that St Mary's are coming. And I think that's the way they're playing there. Waratahs are seem to be a lot more cautious.
Good kick inboard. That's Cree with it. Got a bit of a mop trailing off his head. Dances around the man on the mark and then just kicks it forward, though. There's one Tar who had 4 Saints to beat, and it's the Saints who've come away with it. Hunt.
Yeah, that was one player I missed. He's been very good for St Mary's.
Kicks it out, finds Musgrove. Musgrove takes a mark. Musgrove has been pretty good today as well.
He's kicked a goal too, hasn't he?
He kicked their first of the game. Or not of the game. So, yeah, their first of the game, sorry. In the first quarter. Now Lant, he takes a mark a long way from home, but he's got to run it well all out there by himself is Zach Robinson. He'll now launch into the pocket. Can't take the mark was Xavier Vallejo. So the Tars have got numbers. Brody Carroll, he'll pick it up, get it out there to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer will have to get it back to him. Yaron has intercepted very cleverly. Now running on towards Vallejo, but the Tars defenders are just hot on the pulse.
But the good thing from a St Mary's point of view there was they made the Waratah backman work for that, and a couple of small mistakes from the Tars boys, probably for the first time in the match.
So ball goes up now. Hunt sells some candy, goes around onto his left. Now he's wrapped up, but got a foot away. Calder, is that a mark? It is. They've just...
Gee, that'll be just 15 metres, wouldn't it?
About 15.2 if you get the tape out.
I'd say about 12.7. Anyway, a big Calder or benefit. He's got to kick it yet, of course, but might be a bonus goal, this.
In a good position here from the from the broadcast camera, as you can see, straight behind him. St Mary's champ goes through, and he's sprayed that one.
That's why I didn't nominate a goal then, Will. Some of the kicking for goal today has been ordinary, actually.
Yeah, you look at the flags out there, and it does look quite blustery. It's not really a hot, wet, humid, wet season day. It is quite sort of overcast, so you wouldn't think it's going to be a wet and slippery ball, but it does definitely look quite blustery, and a few storm systems over top, so we'll see how that plays. We saw a bit of a sprinkle of rain in the first quarter.
And once again, the ball's been turned over.
St Mary's having a crack, and this second quarter, it's all been their way so far. Now in, and Calder goes over his head. Running back is Jack Lant, just muscles his way through, gets boot to ball, but comes off the wrong angle, and getting onto it now will be Jack O'Sullivan. He gets it over the top, and it's just gone over the boundary line for a throw-in. Every
time I see Jack O'Sullivan play, it reminds me of his dad, Nick, who played up here in the late 90s and early noughties. He was a hard-hitting sort of half-back flanker, and his son's turned out the same way. Same number too, number 24.
Ball thrown in. Calder again, assuming ruck duties for Saints. Kick comes out. Intercepting there was the St Mary's player. Kick goes well into the pocket though. There's two Tars who can mop it up. And O'Dwyer's got all the time in the world. He now goes out wide. Kick which just went beyond his teammate and paddled over the boundary line there by Ling.
As I say, Nick, they just haven't got that little bit of poise about them, Waratahs. It's almost like they're a little bit nervous. They're going to have to sort of get back to that free-flowing style that gave them that big lead early in the game. Umpire will throw it in from just in front of the Waratahs bench. Grenfell, that kick was smothered, so he has another crack, and it just went about 5 metres rolling along the ground. Wrapped up in the tackle there was Cruiserberger. Cruiserberger's been a bit quieter today. Grenfell gets a hit out down now. Comes along the ground. Dylan Lant gets a handball to Cruiserberger. Just a little dibbler along the ground. Intercepting it, or sort of counter-incepting it, was Hillier. He's now on top of it again. Paddles it back again now. Comes through. Ling kicks it forward. Goes through the hands of Crocker. Handball out now. O'Sullivan picks it up. And Tars, they look to rebound now. Get it out of there. Oborn and Parnell nearly collide. Umpire calls a free kick going St Mary's way. Parnell was held. He now goes short. Finds his teammate there in Stenning. Stenning goes out wide laterally to Green. Green will play on and go. Kicks it down the line, and there's another free kick plucked against Hope. Just hit Green unnecessarily late. Yes, a late tackle, and it's cost him a downfield free kick.
Centres it to Calder, almost pushed in the back. Paredes picks it up, turns on a dime and goes, but Waratah have the numbers there. Now comes out to Waddy. Waddy will have to turn and go, gives a handball off. Waddy might be in contention again. Morris goes inboard now. Now it comes outbound to Benulis. Benulis with a bit of tape around his eyes after that heavy hit in the first. He goes down the line now to Kirby. Kirby kicks it inside 50. Tars moving very quickly, have gone in. Hope can't take the mark. Now with Green. St Mary's turn around and intercept. Green comes out this near side. A lot of Saints players there. Oh, nearly collecting each other there was Hartung, and his teammate rolls over the boundary line.
That's the basics of football. We'll get numbers around the ball, and they did that, Waratahs, and they've prevented Waratah going forward. So good bit of heavy work there. Sometimes football's not all about kicking and marking. It's getting numbers around the ball and playing to your advantage.
Quinoulis, as we said, back with some tape around his eyes, and he's changed into number 26 if you're following at home, as opposed to his regular number 12. Got a bit of a blood stain in it, you'd say, after a heavy head knock.
He did cop one, yeah.
A few players just getting involved on the back flank there. Play will continue, though, on the wing. Now it'll come out to Benulis again. Benulis handballs it over the top, and he'll get it back from Turnbull. A quick little 1-2, and now a chip inside 50. Doesn't really look like a good kick, but it'll work. Kirby, he's taken a mark in the pocket.
Yes, the workhorse, Arnold Kirby, was in the right spot at the right time, and he's looking over his shoulder because he knows it's going to be a difficult shot. He'd be 25, 30 metres out, but he's on about a 45-degree angle. And Arnold, this will test your goal-kicking skills.
And just as the Tars were bringing the ball forward there, there was, I mentioned, a little scuffle on that back flank for Waratah. The 3 players involved, well, guess who? Dylan Lant, Dill Collis and Nick Yarron.
Gee, that's unusual, isn't it?
They've been at it all day, those 3.
Let's watch Kirby's kicking style here. He's gone with the drop punt, of course.
Comes in and hooked that one as well. Hope can't take the mark. Or can he?
No, they've had something. What is it, throw in?
It'll be a boundary throw in from there.
So another disappointing result there for Kirby, who's been very good for Tars, but he's got to sharpen up his goal kicking a bit.
So Grenfell on Kirby in the ruck. Tars haven't really had a sniff and goal this quarter. And they still won't or will they. Magro picks it up, handballs it over the top. Now running through Goulden, centres the ball. Hope there, needed a talk with Carlin. Now paddled out the back for St Mary's, gets a handball to the running Cruiserberger. He's wrapped up instantly. Ping for holding the ball. Great strong tackle there from Cree.
Yes, he ran into a tackle and tried to break it, but Cree was too strong. And you'll go back and have a shot from what would be 45 metres out, Will, directly in front.
Probably will be on his distance here. We know that it's a bit of a blustery day, so I dare say you'd almost even look to pass it off. There's a lot of Saints plays in that. There's a 4-on-2 in the goal square going St Mary's way, and a wave of green and gold just in front of that as well.
Looks very confident he can kick it though, does Mr Cree. And he's going to go the drop punt right next to the man on the mark.
Good looking kick.
He's done it easily.
And he gets the first goal of the second quarter, almost 12 minutes in.
Here's a handy goal there by Cree. He looked confident right from the start. Ashley lined it up and a thumping kick went straight through, but goal post high almost. That's the first goal of the second quarter.
And the lead now out to 26 points, 7-3-45. Waratah leading St Mary's 3-1-19.
Very underrated player, Thomas Cree. He does all the hard stuff, and he always seems to be where the ball is. Unlike the old Jack Dyer-ism, you might remember. He's always where the ball ain't. But this guy is definitely where the ball is. A very, very busy player, very hard-hitting player too, Thomas Cree.
So St Mary's still really with that one goal of their own accord, and it was just a toe poke in the goal square from Calder. They need to get involved in this game. Hunt gets the ball out and running through is Paredes. He kicks it inside 50. Ball spills out the back and Paredes was hit late. Will Collis giving away the free kick. Not happy at all.
Yes, he seems to be remonstrating, Mr Collis. Thought it was a fair bump, but the umpire Noonan, in fact it wasn't Noonan gave the free kick, it would have been back here in the middle, wouldn't it? One of those umpires.
Yeah, and it looks like it'll be paid downfield as well. So Calder has a shot on goal as opposed to a kick in the middle of the ground. And I'm not entirely sure, but
another 50 looks like.
Looks like Tom Cree's just encroached on the man on the mark. And I'm not sure if the umpire's pulled his book out there against Will Collis.
There's the St Mary's supporters on screen there as they watch Jackson Calder dribble the ball through for his second goal, and St Mary's fourth.
And another St Mary's goal. I think that's now 3 from free kicks, 50-metre penalties and or free kicks down the field of play. So,
gee, how many of those in this game though? There must be 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's a very heavy game. It's a emotionally heavy game. Let's see what not much coming out of Chopper in the coach's box though, is there? Just
what he is doing,
business as usual.
What he is doing a Tommy Hafey with the phone glued to his ear, which means that there would have been some words spoken to the runner. But yeah, very important goal again.
Reduce the margin to 20 points.
Yes, that gets them back in the game.
So Grenfell tried to get the clearance there, but again, well smothered. Morris has done that a couple of times today. He's playing very well. Paredes, he wraps it up. Morris will have a crack on it now. No, he won't. Waddy tackled with it, taken high. Free kick going Waratah's way. He goes out now to the run of Carroll. Carroll will take it and go. Barely broke stride. He now goes to the lead of Magro. Good work from Parnell to get a fist over the top. But Goulden dances around one. stripped to the ball. Umpire let it go. Yaron, he now kicks over the top. Cruiserberger, I think it was, Hartung kept going. Kick inside 50, not a good one, turns it over, and Tars are away out this side now. They'll find Waddy. They've got two further afield, and they will. The first of them is Benulis. They'll skip the second and go forward, and again another free kick paid off the ball. It's going Hope's way against Matty Green.
Yes, I hope we can get a replay of that one. But
I'm not sure if we caught it on camera, but we'll just try and see if we can.
I think he was held more than bumped, and he certainly, he'd only be 15 metres out on a slight angle.
Hope with 4 goals. All of those in the first quarter.
I reckon I'll predict this one, Will. I reckon he'll get this. It'll be his 5th.
He's got his kicking boots on today, that's for sure. The bright green ones. And that one has gone through. He's got 5 goals for Waratah so far today, and they extend their lead out to 26. So let's just take a quick look at the replay here. We can see Waratah did very well rebounding down this near side wing. Benulis, he's that kick over the top, and just didn't quite catch it on camera. It was just a bit too far afield, but yeah, Hope was held by Green almost in the goal square.
Yeah, so against the run of play, really, St Mary's have had a lot of the ball. They have kicked 1 goal, but Tars have kicked 2 in this quarter, and they've skipped away now to a 26-point lead.
And another goal courtesy of a free kick, Gray.
That follows 7. As we keep adding them up.
Grenfell gets the ball down, beats all comers. Off the wing was Waddy. Got it forward to Lant. Lant handballs it over the top now to Hunt. Hunt will handball it forward again to Hartung. Hartung takes it. Stenning was lurking, but just couldn't take it as he ran through. Now with Kirby, he'll just caress it out of the back line. It'll be a foot race on the wing now. Getting to it was the Tars play, but he had to handball it back. Now they can work forward. They've got a few loose players. They've got one on the flank if they can get it to him quick enough, but he wasn't clean, the big fella Gooch. And Saints now their turn to keep going. Good work there just to put the pressure on and keep the ball in dispute and in contest. A good kick down the line. Couldn't quite be marked there. Oh, I think it might have been Stenning again down there, and we'll have a ball up on St Mary's forward flank. 26 points down, and it's a weird one because you feel like Waratah really dominated that first quarter and deserved some sort of lead, but in this second quarter it's almost been a dead heat in terms of talent and skill. Anchors, he just kicks it out there, marked by Paredes behind the plate.
Who's come into the game very well, the skipper, and looks like he's got some type of penalty, has he? Yes, what's this for?
Not sure exactly, but another 50.
The umpire running back, as umpires usually do when there's a 50-metre penalty, and it'll bring Paredes to about 35 metres. Well, on the slight angles. This will be a very, very nice goal to Nate Paredes, the former soccer player. In fact, he still plays soccer.
Comes in, kicks, goes through. So Paredes, the skipper, he gets a goal for St Mary's and reduces the margin again. Back down to, what are we now? 20 points. It's 8-3-51 to 5-1-31. And very talented sportsman and great sports leader as well, Gray.
And another goal from a penalty. I'm just trying to work out what happened there. I won't get that on the replay, but maybe a bit of backed out, or they might have just moved on the mark. That stupid rule about standing on the mark, you can't move. Well, I cannot believe that. Anyway, life goes on. And life goes on for St Mary's too, as you said, within 20 points. It's turning into a real, almost top of the table place, this.
Yeah, you wouldn't count St Mary's. It'd be a brave man to count St Mary's out at this stage. Waratah, as we mentioned, probably have been a bit better today and dominated that first quarter, but St Mary's are well within striking distance. I wouldn't say 20 points is anywhere near too much for them.
That's a nice mark too.
Musgrove, he now kicks it forward into the pocket, but Collis just sitting in the hole. Not happy with that, Gray.
No, it was a very ordinary kick from young Musgrove. I think he'll regret it.
Oh, an umpire's called play on. Carlin's fallen over at the wrong time. Almost a bit of acting there, and it hasn't paid off because it's a free kick St Mary's way inside 50. Good work. I think that might be Luke Hillier.
And as he goes back to have a shot, Will, remember that you're watching AFL in T's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL season. TIO Stadium, it's Waratahs and St Mary's.
Hillier comes in and kicks it on goal. It's offline. Calder tried to keep it in play, but it's just gone through. So 19 points now, the margin.
I reckon Tuesday night at the Gardens Oval and St Mary's train, I think, on TIO too, don't they? There'll be some goal kicking practice from both sides.
Yep, I think so. It's not an inaccurate game when you look at the scoreboard, but all 5 of those misses probably could have gone through the big sticks if they wanted to. Tars trying to move it on quickly. Yep. Umpire bringing it back to Benorlis, and Cree will have to almost kick at his measure to get it back to the man on the mark. That's how far they tried to work it down. Gives the Saints enough time to move back into their defensive position as well. They just go laterally. Kieran Andrew, and he keeps going to Crocker. They're trying to sort of do the switch play, but that's not really going to work, is it?
Very, very dangerous against a side like St Mary's.
Kreuzberger running through. It'll work out for them now. Waratah kicks it forward, and there's probably 2 or 3 Tars to be the first to it, if not 4. It's Brock Lant just streaming through from the back line there. He was the hungriest of them all. Umpire's going to ping him for holding it. In fact, it's gone against Waratah, so Brock Lant, the youngest of the Lants, I believe.
Yes, he attacked that aggressively and has come up with the football, so the end justifies the means, Will.
They work it forward now. Collis intercepts, though. Collis on half back. And in that first quarter, we had 9 goals scored. This quarter, we've had just the 4. So I don't think the time will tick out to 30 minutes as it did in that first quarter. We've only probably got 2 or 3 minutes left, you'd think.
Plus, we had that melee too in that first quarter. Probably took up 4 or 5 minutes.
And Benorlis obviously came to the bench as well. I don't think play stopped for too long for that. However, Waratah work it down the line now. Couldn't take the mark there. Was Brock Lant. Now handball gets over the top. Turnbull running onto it. Will Collis, he's in space. Kreuzberger almost has tackled him without it, but the ball's gone over the boundary line first. So a boundary throw in about 70 out from the Waratah goal.
A little bit of frustration there from Abraham Angus. I think he thought he might have been getting held, but the umpire said, I'm in charge here, Abe. Give me the football.
Jake Bowd playing in the forward line. From what I've seen, he's usually played on that half-back line and that very reliable Tars half-back line the last couple of years, but maybe an opportunity forward. The ball's sort of coming out his direction now. Just goes over his head, so he'll have to work, but he does pretty well. Put his body on the line. Kieran Parnell, though, held onto the ball like he had Velcro gloves on or something, and the ball's gone over the boundary line. In fact, it's a free kick to St Mary's. And Bowd looks a bit hurt, a bit ginger on the ground. Now comes out to Ling. Ling will cross it to Green. Green doesn't have a lot more to go to beyond there. He's got Hillier, who's really the only option, but then from there he's got Jack Lant, who he needs to hit pretty precisely. It's a good kick from Hillier.
Yeah, it's a very nice kick.
And Lant will keep going. So Saints, they're away here. A kick to Musgrove. Oh, big collision there from O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer's come in from a long way away and hit him hard, and it looks like they're going to come in and remonstrate.
Here we go. Yep, let's have a look at what's going to happen here. Bit of pushing, mainly verbal at this stage.
Bang. Big hit there from O'Dwyer. And it will be a free kick, and Musgrove hasn't. He's still on the deck.
Yes, there's some Mary's trying it out to him now to have a look. Hasn't moved all that much either, Will.
No, he's looking very, very sore out there. Not sure if he's...
Is it the shoulder?
Potentially... You can see Anthony Long out there as well, the runner.
They rolled him onto his back, which is a good sign.
And he is moving.
Yes, certainly a big hit there by O'Dwyer. Unfortunately, Musgrove was caught in no man's land. Really, he had the mark, but he knew the traffic was coming. And sure enough, the experienced O'Dwyer got him right down the middle.
And so he'll walk off the ground. He's looking a lot better now than he was a few minutes ago.
Oh, that's very good news. It looked like he might be in a bit of trouble there for a while.
Just jogging off the ground now. And so it'll be Jack Lant taking a free kick almost from point blank range there. Free kick and a 50-metre penalty. Looks to be the result there. A nasty collision.
And another goal looks like resulting from a 50-metre penalty right on the half-time siren.
So he comes in. Jack Lant makes sure of it, kicks it over the Michael Long centre.
I reckon he kicked that one as far as Adelaide River.
Just about,
yeah. It was a big one.
Yeah, and Musgrove.
And they're on. It's on. Look out.
Oh, gee, it is. A few, not quite fists being slung. You can see Captain Carroll just trying to calm his teammates down.
Someone ran in then, the Waratah player.
Kieran Andrew hits the deck. I think that was Long on flying through as well. Umpire's just trying to call it, and this is where it gets dangerous because there's no free kicks they can really give away at this stage, are there?
But it is half-time here at TIO Stadium, where St Mary's have drawn back to within 13 points of Waratahs, and we'll be back at TIO Stadium after this short break. Yeah, it's interesting.
Cliff under pressure here. They're coming out through Vile. He's turned the ball over. Picked up by Atkins. Hands off quickly to Stokes. They've got to get tighter on Jared Stokes in that situation. He goes long and Stokes, he's kicked the first goal of the game. The skipper, Jared Stokes, has started well for Buffaloes.
Skilly?
Di Pasquale, he's started the game
it's a
well. Philo, they've got to man him up. He will kick it from 50.
And he loves it.
He loves it. I think he was knocked over after it too. But it doesn't matter. Brody Philo's kicked one for Tigers. Gets the ball over there to the Nightcliff player. He chips it sideways. Picked up there by Butcher. Butcher onto his left foot. Kicks it in deep. And it's a goal. So we're looking around for it. They lost sight of that one, and Butcher's kicked it on his left foot. That's one for the archives.
virtue of that. Fijo has the football, goes back to a good player in McQueen. McQueen's been pretty good too. He's had a bit of possession. Playing in front of Dunstan was good and picked up by Mensa. Snap on goal, and there's Districts first. 10 minutes in, Districts on the board.
23 NTFL season, and we're live out here at Norbuild Oval to watch the Southern Districts Point blockbuster.
Certainly proving that way. Point inside by hand, running into an open goal, looking for the player, moving forward, can't find the handle. Now he does the hand, kicks the goal.
At last they've found a way.
Thomas Burnett at minor score. So a point each in the third term. Quick play the ball.
You run into an open goal.
And you run into an open goal and kick it. Against the run of play, Andrew Mead-Harding kicks a goal. And that mightn't have been Dunstan that time. I think that might have been Willsmore. Oh, high tackle in there.
Can you go around the corner around? Dangerous, or did it work?
Jack Sexton deserves a goal. Been fantastic, Sexton. Neither does he.
Very good handball. This
long handball. Well, now they've got a kick. They do kick the football. Kicked it up forward and a goal.
That looks like...
Yeah.
I was going to say McQueen, but it's not McQueen. It's the guy giving the high fives. 31.
It's Barry. Yeah, yep. Not precise. Districts go forward. Mark dropped. Picked
this
up
time.
Fijo.
Yes, that time. He's got it.
Ronald Fijo has put the nail in the coffin well and truly, and Districts go out to a 7-14, 4-4 lead. Almost, we're just about to tick into time on in the final term. That's
a
left footer.
Pass.
And does it nicely. Jack Sexton takes the mark, has a goal, got one in the third term. We'll run around the corner. Play on call the field umpire. Sexton kicks on goal and should not miss from there and has not.
So how many goals did he get? That's his second?
It is. Me, you blokes. I don't want to get... I don't want to get zapped. Don't touch.
I'm sure one of the experts said it wasn't going to rain then.
Will not rain, Gray. There we go. That's a goal.
Who's that?
Finally a goal. Finally a goal to Point.
Looks like the big fellow, is it? Number 4, don't know, the little fellow.
Melseed.
Oh. And there's a goal to Districts by the skipper.
It is indeed. So they've put this game to bed, haven't they?
He's been prolific in this first quarter. It's a pretty open forward line. Calder's there. Parry's right with him. Ball spills over the back. Cook make amends for last time, and he doesn't miss that one from 15 metres out down the corner, and he sticks through St Mary's second goal. He's got to watch the play on here. He chooses not to. Honours the lead of Calder. Guthrie jogging back in the hole. Calder on his left foot, right to the top of the square. It's a 2-on-1. Enrique Andrews is in all sorts of trouble. He's surrounded by 3 St Mary's players. Ball spills to the captain, Paredes. He's an absolutely dominant first quarter, and that's St Mary's third goal of the quarter. Take that slippery ball, comes out of Grenfell, and he just says, I'm kicking this as far forward as I can, and he does a really good job. Calder almost could grab it. That's Yaron there. That's Fowler. He's first back. And he's been electric in this first quarter and a half. Fowler, he kicks his second. He picks up, comes into Musgrove, almost a look-away handball to Land on his non-preferred right boot. Groves was on the goal line there, had a good crack at touching it. Umpire went at it and landed in the lap of a player. Comes into Warwick Campbell, he throws one on the boot. Only player inside 50 there was Jellyman Turner. He couldn't gather. Farah did. Around on the left boot. He took a lot of water with the kick. It was very heavy underfoot. That's well done there by Joe Farah. Ashton Hamsey's there. Picked up there by the Palmerston player Kyle Keane. Comes there to the St Mary's play around the corner. Good body work on the line there by Jackson Calder to clear that. Couldn't be taken there by Tyson Todd. Yaron's lurking. That's always dangerous. Nick Yaron on his right boot says thank you for coming. Ball back in the middle. Just looking at the cricket there. 7 for 175. He batted first. Scorches 1 for 47 off 6. So it looks like a fair game of cricket happening there. Brock Land swings around. Jack Land swings around on his left boot. And is that his fourth or fifth?
That's his fifth.
That's his fifth. Yeah. Down there to Farah. I reckon Farah may be injured. He hasn't spent a lot of time in the midfield.
Brave taking a bounce on a night like tonight, but he trusted the groundskeepers. Lovely kick, lovely goal.
And that's Land of the Dillon variety to add to his 77 possession. Side, and they got some space there. He goes to Brock Land, who's worked himself beautifully into this game. Palmerston player went up high and hard. Umpire said it was a push. Palmerston player said, no, I went with my knee. It doesn't matter. Ball goes over the back.
About just over 5 or 6 minutes to go, you would think.
Comes down there to Dillland, and that is the cherries on a very, very good game from him.
Tackle there from Fijo. Trying to wrap it in. He gets a handball out to Stevie Motlop now. Gets a handball off to Totham. Totham, very tight, kicks it onto the run there of Matthew Motlop. And he'll go into an open goal, you think. Kicks the first of today. Great goal, and the Wanderers are off to a fast start. 2.5 minutes in, they kick the first goal. Instead, he goes down and finds Dre Thompson. He goes over the top to Nicky. He's got Motlop if he wants. Instead, he goes for home. What a kick that was from outside 50.
Wow, what a goal.
He's got one contest ahead of him. He'll have to go to Morris, you'd think. He gives it off to Fijo. Fijo runs instead to 50. Goes towards goal. Big kick. Will that make it all the way? It has.
What a goal. Nice easy kick in there to Thomas Boys. Looking for Stevie Motlop again.
Motlop picks it up. Snaps on goal on his left. Has that gone through? It has. What a goal that was from Stevie Motlop. His third of the afternoon. I don't think it was intended for him, but good mark for the Wanderers play. And handball off to Totham, not good.
Oh, Tipalura's unloaded.
What a goal that is.
What a goal.
Bennell, he's looming dangerously. He's got a player out the back in John Tipalura, if he can get it to him. Is that rolled to the goals?
What a
it
goal.
has. Fantastic effort there.
Unbelievable goal there by the Tiwi Bombers.
Nice little handshake there as they tried to... good work from Thompson, just dances around the man on the mark. Now kicks towards goal. Is that going through? What a goal there from Dre Thompson.
A goal by Dre Thompson. We'll mark down another one.
That's Bennell. Bennell goes to Farmer, who's just come off the interchange. Farmer will play on. Kick on goal. It'll float back through and bounce. What a goal from Roy Farmer. Straight off the interchange bench. Here comes Munkara, very silky. In and finds Shannon Rioli. Back to Munkara. Munkara on the run. Great kick on goal. And he's got it through.
Mary's, but she's a defender, so they don't often pick up votes. Waratahs have a number of players. Tiwi Bombers have got a number of players. You know, it's anyone's, I think. Stevie Motlop's going to have another shot on goal.
Check side. That's through. So that's number 11 for Stevie Motlop.
Well, one more and he's got the dozen. Stevie Motlop, we're 14 minutes into this final quarter. So
base instead will go to Bennell, and Burke will keep running. Bennell now goes to him inside 50. You'd think he'd have a shot. He does. Very good kick. And Burke, he kicks his second of the quarter. Do it. Just taps it. He's got 3 opponents to beat. Now comes to Stevie Motlop. Will he go the check side on goal for number 12? He will. It's gone straight over the umpire's head. What a goal that was.
Stevie Motlop with 12 goals here at Gardens Oval today for the Wanderers Football Club. What a performance.
So welcome back here to TIO Stadium for the round 17 blockbuster between Waratahs and St Mary's. That's second and third on the ladder. And to this point, to half time, it's Waratahs leading by 13 points, 8-3-51 to St Mary's 6-2-38. And my fellow commentator Will Swire, can the Saints get back into it?
Good question, Great Morris. I think they can. Who knows what we're going to get out of this second half. Obviously St Mary's came back late in that second quarter, kicked a goal after the siren courtesy of Jack Lanton. A really nasty knock from O'Dwyer onto Mitch Musgrove. Looks like Musgrove's out there, so will still take place in this second half, you'd say. But Waratah, as you can see on the left of the screen here, they're just warming up and getting ready for what could be a bit of a physical contest in the second half. We know there's a lot of fire in the belly. Nicky Aaron, he's been reported in this one already, and you dare say probably going to spend some weeks on the sideline. And meanwhile, we also saw, I think, 2 or 3 sort of almost all-in melees, or if not, probably 16 of the 18 players getting involved in it there on each side. So, yeah, looking at the stats, Darcy Hope, he's got 5 grey, pretty good haul so far, and Jackson Calder and Jack Lant have 2 each for St Mary's.
Yes, certainly the forward lines have produced different productions, and 5 goals to the blonde-haired Hope. He's gone from dark to blonde overnight, so I'd say he's had some mixture when he had a shower last night. He thought he'd try the wrong soap, and it turned out white. But no, he's been very good, and so has Collis, of course, the vice-captain, Dylan Collis, and Brodie Carroll, probably his best game of the season, Brodie Carroll. And for St Mary's, of course, the skipper's worked his way back into it, Nate Paredes. The other guy there, Jackson Collis, Brendan Grenfell's worked hard on the ruck, but he's probably been beaten by Arnold Kirby. The other player too for Waratah, for I forget, is Thomas Cree, a real bully, hard-working sort of on-baller. He's been very good for them too. But you're right, the first goal of this quarter, the championship quarter, they call it, Will, and I reckon it is. The first goal of this quarter will be very important. Yeah,
I reckon it will be. Waratah, if they come out like they did in the first quarter, it could be game over pretty quickly. We saw them absolutely dominate them in the first round of the season. But St Mary's, you never know when they're going to hit their straps as well. They've got, I reckon, when he's on, the best player in the competition in Jackson Calder. They've also got a few of the more exciting plays there as well in Nicky Aaron and also Dylan Lant, who I think, I'd just have him probably 1 vote ahead of Dylan Collis at this stage in the Nichols medal. I think they'll be the top 2, probably ahead of Mensch at this stage, and Jared Stokes as well. Probably Stokes would fit in that 3rd podium position. And you wonder the importance of this game too. These sides will obviously meet probably in the qualifying final because they'll finish 2nd and 3rd. So the importance of the game morally, I mean, who's going to be the moral winner? Who's going to be the scoreboard winner? So either way, they're going to be meeting in a fortnight's time in the qualifying final. Yeah, I think they will be. I don't think these 2 sides are likely to change from their 2nd and 3rd position. But that doesn't mean bragging rights aren't on the line here. And it's Hunt who gets the first handball back to Paredes in the first clear. And so St Mary's starting early. Here comes Hillier. He copped a heavy bump there, but got a handball away. Waratah aren't going to let it come through easily. Jack Land, he's lurking, but Brodie Carroll caresses it to the boundary line and takes it over. So
Brody Carroll been a very good leader at Waratah, only a young fellow.
And a very, very awesome Waratah family. Obviously, his father Jacko, Uncle Pooh.
Paul Carroll, yeah, great player, Paul.
His half-brother Brock plays for the club as well. And, yeah, probably a bit shy of making their first team, but he's not far off the mix. That's a good kick forward for St Mary's early. And I think that's young Fowler who's taken a mark.
Yes, the guy with the headband. Turns and has a look at the goal and sees he's only about 20 metres out. So he should go back and connect. Pretty hard to make predictions nowadays. Some of the goal kicking has been awful, even though, as you said, there hadn't been that many behinds kicked.
Comes in Fowler, and gee, he sprayed that one. There you go, great.
I was on the money again. Thank God I didn't have a few dollars on that, because the moss would be flying out of my wallet. I think I've lost about 3 of those already.
Well, if Chopper or Ayres, you have some spare cash lying around, you might be in for a gig on Tuesday night, great.
Yeah, a big chance.
Yaron, he intercepts. Big hit on Collis. Gee, it is physically out there. And Lant, he just throws on the boot. That's out on the full. They pick each other up off the ground, Yaron and Lant. And Lant's been the target of the Waratah bumps off the ground, and Yaron's been pretty squarely in his pocket there to defend him. Yaron, looking a bit sore, will come off and swap in for Long, who can also get involved when he needs to. That kick will come in and be intercepted by Hunt. He now goes inside 50, but it's not a good kick either.
Turnover by turnover.
He's got it now. Is that young O'Sullivan? It's your man, Gray.
Yes,
son of Nick.
Son of the great Nick O'Sullivan.
Kicks it out that far side. Intercepting it there, I think, was Ling. Now comes around to Hunt, but again, they're just not clean. Hunt will make it work for them. Gets it through now to Hillier. Love the way he moves. He kicks it into full forward, but that one's out on the full and it's well wide.
Just getting back to Nick O'Sullivan, we used to call him the woodcutter, because that's what he used to do in Victoria. Came up here and we got him on a pile of wood one night with a big chainsaw. So we nicknamed Chainsaw after that, but a very good hard-hitting defender.
There you go.
In those great Waratah sides of the late 90s and early noughties.
And just for a bit of context to the game here as well, the lights have just come on across the road at the Marara Cricket Ground, so we haven't seen a lot of rain come through here this afternoon yet, Gray, but there's been the light splattering of rain or two.
And a free kick to Big Grenfell. He must have been interfered with in that ruck clash. Now, will he kick this, Will?
I'm not going to put the moz on him. We'll just let him go through his routine and process and see if it pays off.
Normally he's a very good goal kicker, that's all I'll say.
I think he kicked a bag of 7 alongside Calder, who kicked 5 earlier in the year. So he knows where to find them.
No.
That one's just gone across the face. Another behind. 6-4. And they move to within 2 goals. So it's just an 11-point ball game at this stage.
So can the goal-kicking doctor get out to Marara? Both sides have got the yips.
Hope. He was a target a long way away from home. He'll have to work on it on ground level. Good work from Jacob Long, doing the defensive work and then just working it back there. Got it to Green. He'll get it back now. Long will. Just shoots it along into the forward line. Grenfell couldn't take the mark. Collis, he's working through, gets a handball out, and they're away. Now Goulden gets it back out to Andrew. Andrew, he's got a bit of a target on his head, you'd say, from St Mary's. Been doing a lot of the heavy hitting off the ball in this one. He's found his man there. I think that was Will Collis looking down the line to Eddie Morris. But Benorlis, it bounces beyond him. He gets it back now to Waratah. And now comes back inboard to Will Collis. Looking for Hope. Good, strong pair of arms. Umpire calls play on. Carroll, he picks it up, handballs it. Gets a handball out. Now Morris, he's wrapped up as well. Oh, gee, almost slammed to the ground. And the umpire has given him a free kick as a result.
Yes, it was a dangerous tackle that either way.
It could have been real nasty. He gets it off, does he? Kicks it to full forward, just through for a behind.
Sometimes those tackles can end up in the tribunal room too, Will, so...
Yeah, not a good look when you see his legs sort of kicking out from underneath him like that.
So maybe the match review panel will have a look at that.
So kicking in from fullback, St Mary's, and I think that's Parnell. Goes out to his skipper in Paredes. Looks to go short and sharp to Lant. Almost looking to his brother, Jack. Instead, he'll just go short to Hillier. Too short, took it off the half volley. Land will get it back, he'll have to. Now with Stenning goes inboard and Hillier, he'll eventually end up with it. He goes laterally and he finds Ling. In fact, it's Brock Land. Brock Land, he can't take it, so goes down the line and here's Long again. Sells a bit of candy, gets around. Will Collis, does he? On the paint, gets it into full forward. But it's not a good kick, and Bout, he'll wrap it up. Tackled as he got rid of it. Now to Carlin. Carlin goes sideways. Finds Benulis. Benulis just, ushers his plays to make a lead, and Brock Land snuck up on him. Now with Oborn, he gets around one. Been quiet today, Oborn. He just launches it to full forward. Calder at the back, he'll jump. Can't take the mark. Getting there is O'Sullivan as well. Now it's the Saints running around. I think that was young Fowler again, but it's smothered off the boot and over the boundary line.
No small man at the bottom of the pack then when Big Calder went for that mark. Would have been nice to have someone front and centre. Would have been an easy goal, but no one there, Will. So Waratah's worked it out of the full back line.
It's turning into a good game, just 12 points in it. Kirby, he gets a double fist out there, away from St Mary's goal. You got young Xavier Vallejo sitting in full forward at the moment. They kick it back to centre of it. Calder, he'll do the crumbing, taps it forward. There's O'Dwyer, gets it back to Collis. He just kicks it to grass. Running to it will be Turnbull. He'll get it easy enough, you'd think. In fact, it's Andrew, and Andrew will offer off a Shepherd as he goes. Gets it to Carlin, who goes down the line. Hope can't take the mark. There's Crummers there, who he can try and get it to. Ducked his head, got it to Carroll. But Green, he's just done the hard work. Now out to Yaron. Back to Lant. Lant inside 50 on the left. This will bring the house down if he can get it through. He has. What a goal. First goal of the third quarter, and they reduce the margin to 6 points.
Yes, it could be a game changer, that. Very clever work there by Dylan Lance. Good work by Big Calder right on the goal line as well to shepherd it through. So St Mary's within 6 points, and we've only been going, 8 minutes in the third quarter.
8 minutes it's taken us, and I think that second quarter it took us about 11 before we got our first goal. What a goal from Dylan Lant here. Just runs around one from inside the paint, and good work from Calder on the goal line just to work O'Dwyer through the ball.
So, they've come from, 26 points down at one stage or within a goal. Can they keep this momentum going? A long way to go in the game yet, though.
Umpire Noonan throws the ball up. Kirby gets it down. Kirby having a very good day in the ruck. Grenfell probably better around the ground. Musgrove, he picks it up. Good to see him out there after a heavy hit on the eve of half-time. And they're wrapped up at half-forward. We'll have another ball up there. So Noons throws it up again. Grenfell gets that one now to Yaron. He just snaps it forward. Gooch, is it? Wrapped up.
The umpire's called high, I think, for that one-handed tackle there by Green.
Looking to switch G very tight to O'Sullivan. He doesn't have a lot of options out this side now as the Tars players look to roll over, so he might have to go back, and he does. Will Collis is out there. He goes a bit further again. Goulden put in a contest, and now they're made to work. They've got 4 to beat, the two of them, that they get it to Morris, and that'll work out for them. Sells a bit of candy. Well done, Eddie Morris. Now goes into the middle of the ground to Rob Turnbull. He'll turn and keep going. Kicks it inside 50. Hope jumps. Magro stays down. Hope's taking the mark.
No need for Magro to stand down because super glue on the end of his fingers there, Big Hope, and he'll go and line up for number 6.
Half a dozen goals in 2 and not even a half quarters isn't a bad haul at all, Gray.
Yes, and the football team seemed to stick to the end of his fingers too. It looked like he'd spilled it, but golden boots, Mr. Hope, and he'll be hoping for his 6th goal.
Four in that first quarter, 1 in the second. Darcy Hope, the spearhead on the ground, kicks it straight through. Umpire barely moved, and he gets goal number 6.
So there's the answer for Waratahs. After St Mary's crept to within 6 points, it's back out to 12, and the headache that is Darcy Hope continues for St Mary's.
Good work from Eddie Morris there, and I think on that back flank, I've just lost the 2 plays. I think Adam Gordon was one of them, and perhaps it was Scott Carlin the other, it was outnumbered about 2 on 4, almost 5 plays, just managed to work it through, had an outlet for Eddie Morris, they got it to, and they've worked it forward. 3 really smooth plays in Morris, Turnbull, and then to Hope in the forward line has resulted in a goal. Teams like that, sometimes all you need is a smooth passage of play like that and you're on the scoreboard.
Yep, they certainly worked that time, and there's Hunt. Hasn't had all that many touches, Will, since early in the game.
Waratah there to mop up the scraps. Kicks out and finds Crocker. In fact, that's Waddy. Waddy will turn and go to Kirby. He's got a player short and he goes to him out there. Bit far for my eyes, Grace, so I don't think your eyes will be any better for that one, but he now finds Cree and goes inside. Another heavy hit, this time on a Tars player, and it's a free kick going the way of not sure who that was either, sorry, but he's found Hope. Bullet-like pass there. Might have been Scotty Carlin out there.
He's got his hands on his hips now. He was pretty pleased with that pass, and so was Darcy Hope. He'll now go for number 7. All of a sudden, he can put the side 3 goals in front after St Mary's looked like they'd taken control of the game. Just goes to show the importance of a focal point up forward. Big Darcy Hope.
The last goal of the game from a pretty similar position. Kicks through that one and he likes it straight off the boot. Number 7 for Darcy Hope and a 3-goal lead for Waratah. 10-4-64. They lead St Mary's 7-4-46.
St Mary's will be disappointed with that. They were playing the better football, but 2 quick goals ahead of Darcy Hope and they're out to 18 points again. Mainly because they get the ball out of the middle, and some good play there too by the ruckman Kirby. Chipped it out wide very nicely indeed. Very underrated player is Arnold Kirby.
And I think it was Bowd, the other player involved there, who's, as we said, playing in the forward line, probably a little bit out of position, but seems to be holding his own great.
Yes, you're right. Going very well. And now they've put Fowler on Cree, who's starting to get a bit of the football.
So that scoreboard on your screen is 2 goals short for Waratah. They're now on 10-4-64. There we go, just updated now. Saints moving forward though, and Dylan Land has taken a mark easy as you like. Tars almost caught napping there out of the centre square.
Well, so with Dylan a bit. He was minding his own business up there, and all of a sudden the yellow football landed on his chest, and he would have thought, well, this is all right. I'll go back and have a shot.
Kicked their last goal, and it was an absolute ripper, wasn't it, out of play, just ran inside 50, dance around 1. And he's been the target of the Tars in that first quarter.
Yes, they've certainly gone for him.
And comes Dill Lant.
And he's got it.
He likes that one.
How many's he kicked? Mr. Land, that's his second.
Just the 2 today.
Both in this quarter. So once again back to within 12 points. This is the game between the 2nd and 3rd place sides. And St Mary's trying to avenge their 100-point defeat in round 1. Seems a long time ago.
Just look at this at the bottom of the pack.
Yeah, just minding his own business at the back of the pack. Thank you very much.
Pretty handy when it falls that way, isn't it, Great?
Yes, sometimes football can be an easy game.
So Kirby and Grenfell again in the ruck. Very good duel. Looking forward to seeing it again in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully. Ball comes down, running through there. St Mary's player in Fowler moved into the middle, and Land for 3 in a row for St Mary's. That's probably the best of the lot of them. Just rolls it through on his left, dribbles it through, and just easy as you like. They reduce the margin back to 6 points.
Once again, the ball over the back of the pack. It bounced at this particular time, but Lant was smart enough and good enough to get hold of it and chip it through on an angle. Just rolled it through with the, what's the word for it, with plenty of poise. And all of a sudden, there's back to within a goal, Will.
And the rain's starting to fall again. Not too heavy, but just a little bit of a splattering. And, yeah, we've seen 2 goals to Waratah this quarter, 3 to St Mary's. Waratah built a 3-goal lead just a few moments ago, and you thought, oh, they might be putting their foot on the gas here, but just like that, Dylan Land has turned the game on its head, and suddenly St Mary's look like they've got momentum behind them.
Yes.
He's starting at full forward at this centre bounce. Grenfell gets it down. Waratah pretty keen to get it out. Grenfell's on the deck. Hunt kicked it forward. Hillier will be at the fall of it, or the closest man to it. He picks it up. Can't turn around, so he'll have to kick it somewhat over his shoulder at the fall of its Hartung. He can't take the mark there either, but he'll pick it up. Wrapped up in a tackle, gets a handball through. Cree got involved. Intercepting it there was another St Mary's player. Can't quite see who from here, sorry. But Hillier, he picks it up again, taking over the boundary line. And St Mary's, gee, they're really starting to come out of their shell, aren't they?
Yes, they're. That's why they've been up good side for so many years. Well, they're never beaten. Although they were in round one, of course, by 100-odd points. The only time in their history they've lost by 100 points.
So, Grenfell gets it down. Kicked forward by Fowler. Umpires say play on. St Mary's looking very dangerous here. Waratah won't make it easy for them, though. Waddy, he kicks it out, but Grenfell just keeping his position there. He'll launch it inside 50. Yaron lurking. Good defensive mark there from son of Nick, Jack O'Sullivan.
Yeah, jumping Jack, and he's tipped it out sideways.
Now the ball comes out of there for Waratah, but that's bounced off his chest. Coming through is young Fowler, inside 50, shot on goal. Just the wrong side.
Gee, the fickle fortunes of fate. You'd think running in an open goal, chance to make himself a hero at a level of scores.
Hit the post.
What does he do? He hits a 6-inch or 5-inch post.
But he's, and we've had a 50-minute penalty out from fullback, but young Fowler, he's reduced the margin to less than a kick. So 17 and a half minutes through this one, and if Saints kick the next one, they're in front. Try to be too cute there, I think. Morris had to go back to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer's just thrown it onto the boot without purpose, and it'll be marked by Jacob Long in the back line. Not the way that the Tars would have thought that play would go. Kick it out now to Vallejo.
He's been very good down back Long too, very poised.
He finds Hillier, who's come into this game very nicely in this third quarter. We'll go down the line to Calder. Calder with 2 to beat, just bodies himself pretty well, but Andrews there. He now gets it to Cree. Cree had to handball it as he was tackled. And gee, that's a high hit there on Vallejo. Free kick and advantage paid to Long. Wasn't clean to Long, so Long, he'll have to turn and go now. Does all right though. Now comes to Lant, the man of the moment. He goes into the forward pocket and beautifully kicks it to Jackson Calder in the pocket. But he's on a tight angle on the paint.
Yes, bit surprised he didn't go for goal though, Dylan. He's on a red-hot streak. He's kicked 3 this quarter, but you saw the big fellow waving his arms in the forward pocket. But a very sharp angle for Big Jackson as he goes to line up, just wondering what kick he's going to do. Looks like the old-fashioned drop punt. No bananas or round the corner kicks for Jackson. Well,
no,
I know it is a banana, sorry.
That's a drop punt.
And he kicked a point.
Just the wrong side though, so they reduce it to 4 points.
I think he did turn the football very late, but didn't work. Only 4 points. If this is a qualifying final preview, we're in for a blockbuster in a fortnight.
Absolutely. Kirby takes the mark in the back line. Red time in a minute or so. Kirby just gets it out of the danger zone. Kicks it long to Benulis. He can't take the mark, but he'll be running onto it. Gets himself into some space and good intercept there, but Carroll, he'll pick it up. Gets a handball backwards again. Now with Will Collis, he kicks it high. Magro and Dylan Collis at the fall of it. Magro couldn't take the mark. So Oborn, he handballs it out wide to Ling. Ling will caress it over the boundary line under pressure.
And while the ball's out of line, out of play, Will, remember that you're watching AFL and T's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL season, and we're live at TIO Stadium to watch the blockbuster between St Mary's and Waratah.
Second versus third place, and so far living up to the hype. A lot of goals, a lot of good play, and even a little bit of argy-bargy on the field.
Yes, a very short throw in there too.
Paredes picks it up, tried to get out to land, but he's missed him by about half a foot and it's gone out of bounds. Yaron and Kreuzberger waiting on the bench to head back on. So too is Waddy for Waratah. Ball stuck over the other side of the field though.
Young lady's going to run in a few metres this time, the boundary umpire, and throw it in.
It's a handball.
Another short one.
Over there. Into space. Carroll, easy as you like, in the wet, a one-handed pick up and just kicks it into the forward line. Hope, he's got a couple to beat. Green tackled as he took it, gets it back. Now it'll come as well to Brockland. Brockland goes down the line. Crocker in the right position to intercept. He's got a few plays to cross over to. Instead, he just chips over the top to Dill Collis. And he's got Waddy laterally. Instead, he goes to the big man, Hope. Spills over the back. Now comes out to Bowd. Bowd check sides it across the face of goal. And that, I think, is out on the full. It is.
He had his time over. He'd probably go the drop punt there, Will. Certainly had the time and space to do it.
Paredes will bring it back in.
Back to the skipper, yep, to look after things for St Mary's in drizzling rain.
And I reckon St Mary's would be looking at one more just to put their nose in front heading into the final quarter. Waratah wouldn't be worrying about getting an extra goal on the board. They just would want to retain the lead, play it safe from here. So the last few minutes of this quarter, whether it's it's probably about 3 or 4 minutes, I'd say, Gray. I reckon we'll see.
Haven't many goals kicked this quarter, has he?
No, there's been 5 goals all up, I think. 3 to Dylan Lant and 2 to Darcy Hope. That kick, though, is found Bowd just outside 50.
That's a nice grab because the ball will be fairly greasy at this stage, you would think, but he's certainly stuck that mark.
He goes to the lead of Hope, just goes beyond him. Magro, he's there to crumb it, wrapped up by 2, and he's pinged for holding the ball. St Mary's given advantage. They'll now come out to Hillier. They need to make the most of this one. They've got a runner in Yarran. They've got Long inboard as well. They'll go to Yarran. Running back with the flight. Couldn't take the mark. Kieran Andrews done very well there. He got it back to Will Collis. And that kick just paddled down. Crocker almost tackled. He got a handball out now to Collis. Collis throws it on the boot. Free kick for a high tackle. Going the way of Waratah.
Yes, they worked their backsides off then, did Nick Yarran and Jacob Long, but unfortunately the evasive skills of the Waratah player earned him a free kick when he was almost decraniumised.
Kick goes down the line. Kirby puts pressure on. Hillier tried to keep it in. And might be, is it out on the full or is it he'd be hoping it's just been taken over the boundary line.
Four points the difference in this top of the table clash between Waratahs and St Mary's.
So ball goes up, just punched forward by Kirby. Ling, he kicks it forward now. Kieran Andrew, he's been playing very well today. Just positioned himself well and has taken the mark. Not a good kick though. He's given Fowler an opportunity. He's got a few to beat. He's wrapped up in a tackle there. That's a big, strong tackle from Waratah. One of the better players on ground in their last game 2 weeks ago against Wanderers. He's been a bit slow today, but that's a great tackle and exactly what they want from young James Waratah.
Not sure that ball went 15 metres either, Will.
Now with Goulden. Gee, there was a fly there from Parnell, and I think he was almost copped high as he went through. And that's the 3/4 time siren. Just 4 points in it. It's Waratah leading on 10-4-64 on against St Mary's 9-6-60. 5 goals kicked that quarter, great. 3 to Dylan Land, 2 to Darcy Hope. And we're definitely in for a final quarter. We'll bring it to you after this short 3/4 time break.
Goes for home and it's nailed an absolute Prince-Daughter. From the pocket and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Cliff under pressure here. They're coming out through Vile. He's turned the ball over. Picked up by Atkins. Hands off quickly to Stokes. They've got to get tighter on Jared Stokes in that situation. He goes long and Stokes He's kicked the first goal of the game. The skipper, Jared Stokes, has started well for Buffaloes.
Skilly?
Di Pasquale, he started the game
it's a
well. Philo, they've got to man him up. He will kick it from 50.
And he loves it.
He loves it. I think he was knocked over after it too. But it doesn't matter. Brody Philo's kicked one for Tigers. Gets the ball over there to the Nightcliff player. He chips it sideways. Picked up there by Butcher. Butcher onto his left foot. Kicks it in deep. And it's a goal. They were looking around for it. They lost sight of that one, and Butcher's kicked it on his left foot. That's one for the archives.
Virtue of that, Fijo has the football.
And welcome back here for the last quarter of the round 17 blockbuster between second and third placed Waratahs and St Mary's. Waratahs leading by just 4 points, and we're in for a blockbuster last quarter, Will.
Absolutely great. And if this is what the final series is looking like, it's going to be a great 6 weeks coming up, a great 4 weeks of finals. And Darcy Hope, well, he's kicked 7 today already. Meanwhile, Dylan Lant, he kicked 3 goals in that quarter, and he's looking very good.
He's the man. Hope, though, is a man who's going to get Waratah home. If he can kick even 1 or 2 this quarter, it might be enough. St Mary's have found goal kicking not all that easy. Lant did kick 3 that quarter, 3 brilliant goals. But there's been no sort of efficiency from any other player, really, although Jackson Calder's got a couple, and so has Jack Lant. But, Waratah's in front, and the last quarter about to begin.
The other place where this game could be won is right here in the middle, because Waratah sort of fell away a little bit, and that's where St Mary's started winning in that third quarter. So the engine room is going to be a key in this last quarter. It comes down now, and St Mary's look to get the first clearance through the big fella, Brandon Grenfell. Only gets it as far as Crocker, though. He handballs it over the top to Gordon. He's tackled. Lant gets a stray handball, kicks it forward. Coming to the front was Musgrove. Brave after a heavy knock just before half-time. He goes long inside 50. Calder, he'll have to work for it, but he gets into a great position and takes the mark. And Calder could put the Saints in front for the first time in this match.
Yes, will we see a Calder rush? He hasn't really turned the game on its ear yet, but he can. He's quite capable, and only being 30 metres out on the slight angle, this will be a great start and put St Mary's in front for the first time in the match.
He's kicked the 2 today. 1 off the ground.
They haven't led all day, St Mary's. Will they lead in about 5 seconds?
Kicks that one through. No, just the wrong side of the post. So they're edging closer and closer and closer to that lead, but yet to take it yet. Will be brought in from young Crocker. He goes long out that far side. Spills over the back and over the boundary line, but off fingers. So a good result for the Tars.
Yes, they're still leading, but St Mary's are coming well, that's for sure. And Calder had his chance then to put them in front, but he missed away to the left.
Ball goes up, paddled down. Turnbull, he gets it out to Gordon, back to Turnbull, wrapped up by Lant. Gets a handball over the top though, and Yaron, he gets boot to ball. You'd think he'd be first to it in the foot race here, though O'Sullivan gives him good run for his money. Comes off some feet, and Carroll, he'll pick it up, gets a handball back. O'Sullivan kicks it long and high. Good work there from Liam Hunt.
A strong mark. It was a strong mark. He had the cars coming down on him from in front of him and behind. He would have heard footsteps.
Tough player. Carroll's just come to the bench. Looks like he's copped one to the eye. Hillier, he'll kick it inboard. Marked by Land. That's a beautiful kick. He'll play on and just kick inside 50. Calder lurking in the back again. Good work from O'Dwyer to just spill it off hands, and O'Sullivan will take it through under pressure. 62 to 64. They're just 2 points down now. Kicks out there from fullback. Finds Will Collis. He'll go over the top to Kirby, who will have to go for a run. Runs into Grenfell, gets a handball out, almost slung through as he got rid of it. Umpire let it go. Long just kicks it forward, and is that out on the full? It is. Not a good kick from him, and hasn't worked out too badly for the Tars. Collis kicks it long. Good mark there from Bowd. He now goes to the lead of Hope. Goes beyond him. And kicked in there towards goal. Kieran Parnell's just managed to take it safely through, disguised it well. Wet conditions, you don't want to be too cute around goal, do you?
He was a man on the spot, and he decided, I'll just give them a behind to give this guy here a chance to go along with the ball. I was a bit confused. You're not going to go along at all.
Green didn't really like what was being offered to him, so he's gone short to Parnell. He's got Jack Land offering a lead. Long, won't go there. Instead, he'll go long to young Musgrove. Can't fly. Doesn't get a good read on it. Collis does, though. He now goes short to Morris. Beautifully placed kick. Morris, he'll go to the lead of Hope. Just didn't quite place it well, and Oborne's intercepted. Been quiet today, Oborne.
But what he has done, he's done very well. He was going to go backward, decided to go forward instead, looking for, but not finding his teammate there.
Collis, he'll just dribble it forward. Hope all by himself on 50. Gets a short one over the top there to Bowd. Bowd takes the mark in the pocket. You'd feel like, even though they're in front, you feel like Tars need the next goal.
Yep. Matt Green conversing with the umpire. They want to know exactly where the mark is. And number 9 there for Waratahs does everything right. Jake Bowd. But can he convert, Will?
I think he's a left footer, so he's not the worst position for him. That's a good looking kick, but he's just hit the post.
He's hit that 5-inch piece of steel again.
Back out to 4 points, 10-6-66. Waratah leads St Mary's 9-8-62. 5 minutes gone in the final term here. Green plays on. Parnell again. We'll find Hillier, who I've been really impressed with this second half. Almost as he's come alive, so too have the Saints. That kick, though, has gone out on the full.
Give them a wrap, and that happens all the time.
Now with Turnbull. Plays on. Kicks it long. Kirby, the ruckman, sitting in front position for it. Parnell wrapped up there.
Play starting to look a bit tired. They may not be raining, but the ground will be heavy. And I think it's taken its toll on some of the legs out there.
Morris gets it out. Kirby check sides it towards goal. Is that going through? What a goal that is from the big fella.
Yes, Arnie Kirby. He's the hero for a minute at least.
Who said ruckman can't kick, Gray?
That's right. And he measured that off beautifully, the outside of his boot. So that's given him a little bit of breathing space, Waratahs.
Take a look at this.
10-point lead.
Taps it down. Morris did very well there. Disguised it pretty well. Then got a hand out when he saw the opportunity to Kirby. Just check sides it. And that angle has defied Pythagoras.
Yes, that's right. Almost an Einstein kick. But yes, he's be a hero now until the next goal. Young Arnie Kirby. He's just resting now, hands on knees. Important goal for Waratahs. They were under a bit of pressure, but they've kicked the first goal of the last quarter. And our operators there have just upped out of the scoreboard. Thank you very much, gents. And they're out to 10 points.
I think that was Matt who got the hit out there in the middle of the ground. Yaron, he'll pick it up and just tumble it forward. Another foot race in that pocket. Calder trying to get to it, but O'Dwyer keeps in front of him. Now getting to it is Hartung. Handballs it forward to Lant. Kieran Andrew getting involved too. Lant on his knees with the ball. Gets it out now. Pinged for throwing. Waratah's free kick. And suddenly Waratah's looking in control.
Yes, those blonde boys from Waratahs, Will and Dylan Collis, have definitely darkened their hair, Will.
There's Dylan to his brother, Will. And Will just a high ball. Turnbull at the fall of it. Kept it in front.
Ooh.
Jake McCreary has earned himself a free kick.
Hit him a little bit late there, number 21 for St Mary's, and Braxton Armat.
There goes Abe Ankers to Hope. Goes through his hands and over the top, picking up as Magro gets it. Gee, I don't think Hope was expecting that. Now comes out to Collis. Now back to Ankers. Ankers will snap on goal. It's offline, but it'll land short. Waddy couldn't take the mark. Bounces over the boundary line.
Yeah, so a very handy 10-point lead to Tars. They've led all day. So they'll be hoping, and so will their fans and coaching staff, they can hang on.
Benulis on Armat in the ruck. Morris tackle without it. Goulden runs through. In fact, that was Ankers who's run through, and he's kicked one too. 16 points they've skipped out to. And Abe Ankers, who I thought almost had gone home after the first quarter, has suddenly come alive in the last couple of minutes.
Yes, very hungry for the football was Abe. He positioned himself very well there too. You'll see here where the ball comes down from a contested situation. He runs onto it, and a left foot snap from Abe is good enough. The boy from Alice Springs, from Federal. Plays all of his football in the territory anyway, in red and white. 16 points, Will, a very handy lead after almost 10 minutes of the last quarter.
Yeah, again, you wouldn't think St Mary's are out of it, but one more goal to the Tars, and it's getting a bit beyond them. Time will become a factor soon. We did see how quickly, though, Dylan Lant kicked those 3 goals in that third quarter, and they've got plenty of like-for-like players as well. Paredes could do it, Yaron could do it, even Long, not traditionally a forward, but we know how crafty he is. Good kick forward from Tars. Turnbull couldn't take the mark, and so Saints have an opening. Comes through to Hunt, given a shepherd by Stenning. Just dances through the big man, now kicks it forward, well placed. Bounces beyond him, free kick will go St Mary's way to Vallejo. This will be just on his range, you'd think. Yeah. Lant calling for it in the goal square. He'll give it off to Long. Long dances around him, then kicks it to Lant. Lant tried to go the one-hander, keeps it in his possession, keeps it alive. Umpire says it's gone over the boundary line.
Yes, they mucked that up a bit. Young Xavier, the son of the coach, thought he'd give a handball across to Jake Long, but the kick into a pocket was a bit up and under, Will. There was no real accuracy about it, and Tars cleared it away.
Just gave the loose defender a bit more time to get to the contest as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Kirby. Good work from Hartung. Takes it off Kirby's handball, and that's gone through for a goal. Jai Hartung, well done. Reduces the margin to just 10 points again.
And to say St Mary's needed that would be an understatement. Approaching the midway point of the last quarter, over the shoulder shot from Hartung never really looked like missing.
Kirby really playing well in this last quarter, almost trying to play a style role, takes it out and tries to clear it himself, but Hartung's just gotten involved, kept the ball in his control, and without really possessing it, just thrown it on the boot.
Yeah, it's a very handy goal. That's their 10th, but they're still 10 points down, and they want the next goal, you'd think.
They've got the big fella Grenfell back in the ruck.
Waratah should have a bit more freshness among them. They had the bye last week, so you think they'd run on, but certainly St Mary's working very, very hard.
Kruiserberger in the middle too. Would like to see him getting involved. Ball working forward slowly but surely for Saints, but Carroll turns around, works it forward, and they might be on run on here. Here's Cree, gets onto a loose ball. Has to be quick, has to be accurate. He's not, but is he hit afterwards? He is. Umpire will pay a free kick. In fact, it's a free kick going St Mary's way, I think.
What's happening now? It looks like it's a Waratah kick. Yep.
Going Waratah's way, so just penalised for throwing him in the ground after he's kicked it. Let's take a look at the replay here. Bounces through, and Cree, he's run onto it. He knows he has to be quick, and Brock Lant just hit him. Gee, that's very close there. Unfortunate for Brock Lant, because I think he was pretty close to getting him while Cree still had the ball. They've been hot on that one all day. We've seen plenty of goals scored from free kicks, particularly in that first half.
Yeah, the St Mary's players probably got every right to say, well, what else was I supposed to do in that situation with a guy running into an open goal? But anyway, it's a free kick.
Here comes Cree. Not happy with that one at all. Just through for a behind.
A little bit of justice there, I think, Will. I'm not sure whether that was a free kick at all.
11 points, so still within 2 straight kicks on goal for the Saints. Green, as he has all day, kick it out from fullback. He goes to Brock Lant, bounces off his chest. Almost just was a bit too short and sharp to him. Kicking it forward now is Robinson. It bounces beyond him. This could work for Saints. Yaron running through, hard attack on the ball. Now gets through. Musgrove takes it, just snaps it into the forward line. Coulter's one out. Running back was Andrew. Took a brave mark against the flight of Gooch, and he will now come out to Carlin. Carlin's got Collis to keep going to if he needs for support. He's in plenty of time and space. And she said he goes short to Goulden. He goes to Dill Collis.
Been very good again too, Dylan. One of the favourites for the Nichols medal.
Kicks it inside that centre corridor. Hope came in crashing the pack. Getting it out of there was Auburn. Granville takes the mark, and he's got players out wide. Now it's the Saints' turn to roll down the other side. Young Xavier Vallejo kicks it to the lead of Calder, a long way from home, but he's taking the mark nonetheless. Dylan Lant, one out at full forward, goes beyond them all. Lant picks it up, does he? Snaps on his left. Will that bend back? Oh, it's coming. It won't make the distance. Jack in the goal square, couldn't take the mark. It spills over the boundary line.
Yes, forced into a hurried snap then, Will. Didn't quite get it at the right connection. It fell short, and Tars again had rushed it out over the boundary line. So they're hanging on Waratah, as we see the coach Anthony Vallejo frantically yelling down the phone, as coaches do.
He's still keeping a cool head there, Gray.
Yep.
Working it through, and it gets out the back for Waratah, and now out of the danger zone. Though there's plenty of green and goal numbers around the ball here. Paredes gets it out to Ling. Free kick paid. Advantage paid as well. No, it'll be brought back. So I think we'll have a free kick going the way of Nate Paredes. You wouldn't think that he's got the distance in him from here.
No, I think it's just past his distance, but you never know with Nate. He's a very, very good footballer.
And look who's lurking. Jacob Long, who he's got a bit of a super boot when he gets onto it, doesn't he?
Yeah, waiting for a handball.
Magro sticking tight and close onto him. So that won't work. Tars have foiled the plan. He goes a short one into the fat side. Beautiful kick to Jackson Calder on the lead.
We saw him miss one early in this quarter from about the same distance, Will. I think in terms of importance, this kick probably rates an A+.
I think he's kicked 2 goals too today. He's obviously got the 2 goals. I reckon he potentially 2 or 3 behinds. That kick, though, is very good, and so he reduces the margin to just 5 points. Calder kicks his 3rd.
That's what the good full forwards do. They kick those important pressure goals, and he made no mistake on that occasion. The boy from Hastings down in Victoria has made Darwin his home, Will.
And Chopper Vallejo on the phone there, just looking a little bit more calm. He's still not getting too frantic and flurried, and at the end of the day, this isn't a finals game. It is a preview, so there's not as much on the line, but the players out there on the field would be feeling the heat. There's his counterpart, Ryan Ayres, as well.
One thing on the line for St Mary's is revenge. That round 1 defeat a bit deep in the culture of the club.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot more emotion out there on the field than there is in the coaches' boxes in a game like this, that's for sure. Kirby, again, trying to play a sole role, but it won't work. Paredes, he'll get the clearance, Willie. Gets it, but not very far. Will Collis picks it up and is taken into the ground. Umpire will ball it up.
Yes, Mark Noonan. Gee, what an umpire he's been up here over the years.
Gets over the back. Good body work there from Ling. But Goulden just running through, gets a toe tap. Off to Collis. The handball to Turnbull wasn't good, so he has to tumble it forward as well. Benulis can't pick it up. A lot of green and gold again, and here's Dylan Lamb doing it in the forward line and the back line. Just kicked it long.
Cool as a cucumber.
Don't think that kick really worked, but it might for them. Morris under pressure, gets it to Gooch. Back to Morris. They're under a lot of pressure. Slung. Umpire says
handball. Yeah,
keep going. Yep, he's happy with that. Into the forward line for the Tars. Benulis, he takes it, but he needs to get rid of it. They get a hand in the way. It comes out to Waddy. Waddy would have a shot here, do you think? He gets around 1, gets around a second. Now to Anchors. He kicked one a few minutes ago. That is perfect. Oh, just touched on the line. 6 points, though.
Yes, the dangerous Abe Anchors. He loves a goal, especially in these situations. But as you said, just touched on the line there by the big fellow for St Mary's in Parnell, was it?
Marked by Yaron in the middle of the ground. Takes it out that far side. Now he goes to Xavier Vallejo. He'll turn and go. Times of the essence. He kicks it inside 50. This time to the lead of, I think it's Hillier, but it bounces through. Turnbull just tries to paddle it forward and he gets it back. Kicks out. They'll stop here. Young Joel Crocker. He now goes out wide again. He finds McCreary.
Yes, the clock's starting
to work. In fact, it's Collis, sorry.
Time clock's starting to work against St Mary's here, Will. They are trailing, only by a goal, but they are behind.
And not many goals kicked in this quarter. Just the 4. So I think it's our lowest scoring quarter we've had so far, but I dare say it's not over yet. I think we'll still see 1 or 2 more goals to come. That's a long kick. Will bounce over the boundary line, will it, or is it a free kick to Waratah? It's a free kick.
Yeah, it's out in the full. 19 and a half minutes gone in the last quarter. So how many goals have they kicked this quarter?
Just the 4-2 each.
So we're looking about a 25, 26 minute quarter at this stage.
And it'll be a big Kirby kicking it back in.
My mate Arnie. Yep, Arnie Kirby.
Not sure if he's the bloke you want it with right now. He'll just kick it long. You almost want him marking this ball or contesting for it, and His counterpart, Grenfell, has taken the mark instead.
Yes, the Queenslander Grenfell.
He goes long to Calder. Calder positioning himself well. Now jumps forward. Can't take the mark. Kirby paddles it out. Collis is onto it. Wrapped up in a tackle, but gets a handball out now again. Comes back to Kirby. Kirby kicks it down the line. Turnbull, he now ends up with it. Works it forward.
Bit of space here.
Magro hasn't really troubled the scorers or the Saints today at all. Green just doing what he can. Now comes Magro. Is it his time to shine? Almost copped him high. Gets a handball out. Here's Long. Long needs to go. Gets it out. They've got a few to beat here. Andrew runs inside 50 defender. He's almost been the best player. Oh, that's a good kick to Hope. Umpire calls play on. Green gets it out of there. He finds Jack Lant in the back line, a long way from home. He just kicks a high one down the line to brother Dill. His teammate slipped over. He's got a few players to beat, but it might work out for him. Gets it to Hartung now. He kicked that last goal. Now to Fowler. Now into Lant. Back to Fowler. Fowler kicks it from half back. No, he doesn't. He gets around one. He takes a bounce. He takes a second bounce. Streaming through. Gets a handball out to the big fella and back
too many handballs
to him
perhaps.
now. It's Fowler. Fowler handballs it through. Saints are on. Here comes the captain, Paredes. Shoots it through. And the scores are level. 12-8 apiece. As we head over 21 minutes in this final quarter here at TIO Stadium.
Perfect example there of the will of the possession game. Many handballs, but they all worked, and it ended up with the skipper who ran over an open goal. So yes, scores level with, I reckon, about 6 minutes left.
Saints just surged forward there, and what other turns and twists have we got in this one, Great?
Twists and turns, yes. The great game of Australian rules. Waratah have led all day, but St Mary's are coming hard. They ran that ball right from the last line of defence too, Will, which is the other thing about that. Right from the last line of defence and ended up with Paredes. So
a lot of moments there which looked nervous, and they managed to guide themselves through. I think Land had a few to beat on the wing here. Green coming out of fullback. Didn't really look too confident either, but again, they just worked it out. And they've got a free kick here going the way of the skipper. He's kicked two, including that last one, but Saints yet to hit the lead today. He takes a bounce, Paredes, and he'll just go. Kicks it down the line into space. Not really sure about that one. Gets over the top to Collis, then to McCreary, back to O'Sullivan to Collis, and getting in the way was Vallejo. Hillier takes it over the boundary line.
Yeah, it's a good bit of work by the young Xavier Vallejo. A lot of people have got big raps on him, so let's hope that he can go on with his career. He's only, 18 years of age.
Is it almost a case of next score wins, Gray? I don't think there'd be much longer in this one, maybe 1.5 minutes. Comes out the back. Waratah have the numbers now. Kicking it forward. McCreary takes a mark. In fact, it's Waddy. Waddy centralises it, and they've got a runner well out wide. They'll come to him. It's the captain, Brodie Carroll. The kick will fall short, though. Long got a hand involved. Turnbull, the former co-captain as well, picks it up and kicks it on the line. Now running to it is Magro. He's got Carroll for support, but good work from Parnell. He just picks up, turns and goes, gets it to Long, gets it back to Parnell. He takes a bounce now. They've got plenty of time and space. He just throws it on the boot and kicks it forward. There's 4 Waratahs at the fall of it. Arnold Kirby, the ruckman, he kicked a ripper down the other end, and now he's taking a good defensive mark. Collis on the bench just telling them all to slow it down. That's not a good kick out there to Waratah. It'll head over the boundary line, will it? No, Cruiserberger, he picks it up. Now he goes into Hillier. Good mark. Saints in pole position now. He turns around, kicks it inside 50. Big Brandon Grenfell, the target. Can't take the mark. Hits the deck. Here comes O'Dwyer now. There's a free kick paid. Going the way of St Mary's and Big Brandon Grenfell.
I think the umpire deemed the attempt at a spoil there by Crocker as illegal. He ran straight at the player.
And there's the siren. So Grenfell needs to kick a score from here for them to win. Otherwise, it's a draw. Big Luke Oborn running back to the goal line. Knows he needs to shepherd it. What an end we have to this. Second versus third on the ladder.
Haven't seen this for a long time. A kick after the siren. And no better player than Grenfell, though. He's a thumping kick.
12 goals, 8 apiece. Here comes Brandon Grenfell walking in from the paint of 50. It's offline. Does it have the distance? It does. The Saints win in a thriller. 12-9-81. They've beaten Waratah on 12-8-80. And Brandon Grenfell, the hero. Not once did the Saints lead during playtime until after the final siren with that final behind.
They waited to 1 minute after the final siren and they're going berserk. That's a confidence booster for the finals. As St Mary's are won by 1 point, as Will said, and they led only once, and that was after the final siren.
Free kick, I think, paid against O'Dwyer there.
Yeah, bit of a charge.
Bit of a charge, as you said, as opposed to watching the ball. And that free kick, what a kick there from Grenfell on the paint of 50. He's turned into an unlikely hero. Had a pretty good game, but arguably Kirby the better ruckman, and fantastic game.
Okay, well that's it here. We've just seen probably the qualifying final preview. St Mary's are won by a point, and stay tuned because you will then now get the Men's Premier League game between Pint and Nightcliff at DXC Arena. We'll see you next week.